What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Big Think Dimension, the only gaming podcast for the modern giga-brained gamer. I'm your host, Dan Video Games, and with me, as always, our online co-hosts, KZ Excellent from KZExcellent.com. How you doing?
I love canned drinks.
And Mr. Feel from Mr. Feel's Wild Ride.
KZ outs himself as a boomer.
What?
And Bob.
It's a Sprite.
Oh, man.
Hey, guys.
I think you made that worse. Sprite's gross.
There weren't many options.
Down at the Sadness Depot.
Yes.
We've got a lot of great news to talk about this week. I'm very excited.
KZ's like, listen, I have to settle for what the Arby's throws out.
KZ, are you drinking a syrup bag?
I'm so hungry.
Oh, won't someone go to patreon.com/GB podcast and become a podlord today? Someday.
Every dollar you donate helps struggling creators like KZ afford sand to eat from Taco Bell.
It cuts to live footage of me in a kennel. With an OLED.
Instead of playing like a really sad song like I Will Remember You, it's just playing it's playing the Fortnite theme in fucking minor key.
No, that's too good.
Man. Yeah, no, we had some awesome announcements this week. I've actually been thrilled to have this conversation all week. But unfortunately, we got to talk about what we've been playing before we can get there. KZ, I know what you've been playing. Tell me about Soul Seraph, please.
All right, now I happen to a mutual of mine happened to retweet someone who worked at Sega, said we're still taking even though the game's on launch day, we're still taking like code requests, so if you want to cover the game. So I'm like, you know what, I have nothing to do. I will totally pick them up on that. And this morning I was sent a code. They asked my console preference, and this is where KZ made his first mistake. Hello, sir. I'd love the Nintendo Switch version of this game.
Oh, you fool.
And thus began a magical journey of 1, receiving the code, 2, getting confused because it didn't work and went, oh, this is sega.co.uk. Let me switch over to the European account. There we go. And then I began my adventures in Soul Seraph. Feel, I need you to understand, this is the one time that it's bad to have a 4K OLED television.
I mean, I bet there's other times, but I think playing a game which must be Unity on the Switch cannot be a good experience.
Wait,
it is Unreal. I think it's Engine 4.
It really doesn't. I mean, it kind of looks it, but it's.
I loaded that up, and the title screen is like the character, standing over like a hill or something, from what I generally remember. I have never been repelled by a character model ever, because it looks just like when you get a game and you put it on the lowest settings. Like, it just looks like Vaseline is covered on it. I'm loading up the game now. All the logos that pop in at the beginning are too small. Like, they're too small, so they're blown up, so they all look blurry.
Oh my god.
But it's Unreal Engine 4. It's the successor to,
It's a spiritual successor to ActRaiser.
ActRaiser. And, it just... I posted fucking image of it here. Just the model looks a little chunky. Sword's a little grainy, but I was like, I'm not going to let these visuals stop me.
I think I have the right description for the Energy Soul Seraph, at least on the Nintendo Switch, gives me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fake game from a TV show.
It does kind of look like Heavenly Sword, doesn't it?
I hate you because it's right. That font, that
the
logo.
Font, like the weird shadow on the font, the fact that like it's all misty out, so they didn't really have to try very hard to make like a background because it's only in one scene.
It's times like these that I'm glad that I was told when I got the copy to send this podcast to the people that send me the code.
Oh no!
I'm gonna be honest. I'm still.
Hey, we're covering the game.
For those who don't know, ActRaiser is one of my favorite games ever. It is an amazing video game. It's fantastic.
Wonderful.
And as such,
insane in scope for the Super Nintendo.
Absolutely. And the fact no one made a proper successor to it in 28 years is mind-boggling. Like, even ActRaiser...
Soul Seraph arrived on the Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
I am absolutely buying this game. It has to happen. It's
on Steam, so you can refund it.
Maybe, I don't know. Eric from Gigaboots, he was also talking about how he has a similar situation to me. Our soul shards are bound to ActRaiser, so we're compelled. We have to know. We have to experience this. So he may buy it on the PS4, and I can check it out. Check out his copy, or I may end up buying it on Steam. I want to see the game at its
I would
best.
say Steam or Xbox One X.
That's true.
So I shall explain the finer details.
Yes. We should talk about the gameplay for those who.
I should talk about the game at all past its title screen.
Yes.
So, Soul Seraph, you get it started. It gives you your lore. You play as the god Helios, and just something like the bad guys showed up, and they're like a bunch of evil. I'm almost cracking again. A bunch of evil creatures.
Not Satan.
And they, no, it's not Satan. It's not Tanzra. I think it's like something owl related. At least one of the pieces in the art, because it opens like Bloodstained, where it's just 2D art with narration about the world, and they jump you into the first action stage. And the controls, to go through the finer points of combat, you got your sword, you do your slash. You can do, your regular slash. You can do, like, a jumping, like, below, like a Smash Bros. Sword character spike. You got some stuff like that. You have a shield that makes, like a LED, like, hologram shield appear over it, which looks kind of cool. You have arrows, and that's your magic meter in the game, where you can shoot an arrow in 2 directions only. Forward and up forward, and you have a double jump, which is Lords of Shadow-like energy.
Oh no,
kinda.
It
doesn't feel the best.
It doesn't have a weird glide like ActRaiser 2, does it?
Yeah, there's no glide.
Okay.
I decided to boot up the gameplay itself so I could answer any relevant questions related to this. You go through the stage, and it's the same thing. You've got a bunch of pips for your health bar. Enemies take anywhere from like 1 hit to 5 hits to take down. Your arrows do less than 1 damage, it feels like at times. Since it's a lot more broken than just going in with the sword. One major problem this game has over ActRaiser is that the normal music isn't good. It's not very good at all.
Yeah,
It's
like
very generic stuff. And also when you go near bosses, the music fades out too early. So many people on my stream just went, did the music just go?
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
Did they not learn how to loop it? But no, it's just you reach certain areas for that. And there's power-ups you can pick up in the levels. Like, you get a weather power-up for the god thing. At least I think that's what that specific thing does. And you got to make sure to reach a checkpoint, because if you don't, you have to go back to that area and get it again. Because there are, like, multiple paths through the level. Another quirk with this game that I don't really like, these enemies are the worst enemies I've ever seen.
Yeah, like looking at some of them, they really feed back into the fake game energy.
This is like goblins we found from the asset store looking dudes.
No.
I mean, it's like...
oh my god, like their buildings are just Warcraft buildings. Like it's the same. All our buildings are made of tusks and red leather.
What was the name of the game that they made before Rock of Ages or whatever? What it was that really weird first-person brawler?
Xenoclash. They made 2 of them.
Xenoclash. Yeah.
Yeah, this is from that developer Ace Team. They did Rock of Ages. They did Xenoclash. I really like Rock of Ages. I've enjoyed both of those games.
I found the Xenoclash very fascinating.
A mix of tower defense and bowling.
Yeah.
And which makes sense why they try to do this, because this has a tower defense energy to it when you go into the god mode, where you start it, and there's dialogue with whatever NPCs are in that area. Which, by the way, the art, I'm assuming this is the Switch game only, because everything is such a low resolution. I have to believe this game's 720p on Switch, because even the art looks bad. Even the art looks like
the 2D
horrifically blown out. Yeah, the 2D cut in animated like anime style art that they use just looks blown up. No voice acting or anything, so it's just normal text appearing. And you start by building a house that establishes some citizens. Then you can build a farm if you have fertile land. And then you can then just click and then assign the citizens to go toward that farm. Build road to give yourself more of an area to work with. Build a lumber mill near trees, and that'll give you more wood, because wood is integral to a lot of the game's structures you can build, like barracks and archer watchtowers. And you get attacked by the enemies that are surrounded by a purple miasma looking area, and then
a fog of war.
It's
you can't see inside it.
It's like those evil dark tornadoes from Spectrobes for the DS, and they got a skull floating over them, and then the enemies pour out of them. So
good touch.
So what you've got to do is you need to build a road to extend your border, and once your border's close enough, you build a shrine or a temple of some sort there. And once people work on it enough, it helps dispel the mist, and then you can, I think, do an action stage there, or at the very least, it kind of just gets the enemies away from it. I cleared out one area to the point where an NPC said, remembering the other, my brother, who we got separated when all the tribes left, and it's go and venture off to the other areas, and all the levels are unlocked. Yeah. I could go to 6 or 7 different areas and jump into their action stages, all a different mix of hilarious looking enemies and locations.
I think my favorite part is that they didn't shell out for the enemies to have death animations, so they just turn solid gold and evaporate.
Yes. Yeah, and then they slice into 2.
Yeah.
I would say my biggest problem with the game, from a gameplay standpoint of this does not work, is that this game is in love with enemies coming from the foreground or the background onto the normal plane. You cannot tell. People were pointing out the thing with the ukulele game. I bet it's a lot easier in that game than this. This is incomprehensible.
Yeah,
where there are times you go in and hit and go, no, you were 1 frame too early. They're still not aligned with you perfectly. And almost every enemy comes in like that.
This is their first 2D gameplay-wise game, isn't it? This is their first 2.5D game.
Moving around the character and doing it feels acceptable. I don't run around and beat up stuff and go, this feels terrible. It feels okay. Frame rate's running at 30, I would hope, given how it looks. But just the animation of your character attacking looks pretty cornball. Doesn't look very, very great. But I feel like the core gameplay is, acceptable. But everything else is really underwhelming, especially given the legacy of the game they're trying to be the spiritual successor to. That I can see why a lot of reviews right now are giving it 5s and 6s, because it's definitely not a looker on consoles like Switch. I don't know how much better it looks on PC or other consoles. The music is pretty underwhelming, except for that main theme. That title screen is, you can feel a bit of the quality shift between the intro theme that they got the original composer of ActRaiser to do, and the normal minute-to-minute music for the game.
So they were like, this is our selling point, but it just serves to make all the other music seem worse.
Yes.
Yeah, it sets your expectations, sets a bar, and then it's like Limbo.
It's you see this? This is our bar. Limbo!
Except for the person so drunk they walked into it.
Yeah, how low can you go? Which disappoints me, because I do enjoy Ace Team's Rock of Ages game, so I would hope that those games had an aspect of building up tower defense stuff. So I'm okay, it makes a modicum of sense that you bring them in for a tower defense aspect.
And Xenoclash had really, really weird enemy designs and stuff too, so I'm surprised that didn't carry over and did something more interesting looking.
Yeah, I have no idea how long they took on this game. I think Rock of Ages 2 came out a year and a half ago. So I don't imagine they were working on this game for very, very long. It's like you go to the snow area and it's all the same enemies, but they're blue. Like
That's not great.
This feels like a cheap SNES game for now, you know, because it has all those trappings that they had. Very basic assets, basic like areas, and all that stuff. Definitely disappointing. But I had to know, as someone who's like, I want something even resembling ActRaiser. I would love a game that has, you know, the fun action gameplay stuff, but also that great feeling you get from assembling like a really cool civilization. Like I like that idea. There was almost something. There was a little bit of that going on in Ni no Kuni 2, but that one was mostly based on timers. But even then, it shot some things into my brain when things developed there. But this just doesn't feel satisfying. Like you can use your god powers to activate rain to make to make grass spawn on a desert, and
yeah, that's how it works.
That's how it works. That's just science.
Can you use the earthquake to stop all the fighting?
You can just straight up shoot lightning and just shock the enemies as they're running in their like RTS formations to try and hit the campfire in the middle of your town. And if enough people do it, the town explodes.
Yeah.
Your town's got like 5 HP because the bonfire is like the health of Helios, the god you play as. I played about 90 minutes of it on stream, and the reviews from my chat were pretty glowing. Probably said you should lose followers for doing this. And, you know, we're trying a little bit of a back and forth. I don't regret my time. I just feel like it's definitely underwhelming.
Yeah, I definitely plan on picking it up and checking it out. Bob, I think this is a game that we're going to have to, quote, give a chance.
Oh, God, it probably is.
Oh, God.
Only I'm sorry.
Look, I don't even have this history with ActRaiser.
It's true.
My chat was yelling, so was the spoiler cast. And I'm like, hey, at least there's documented proof I played this game.
But yeah, I just looking at the enemy attack patterns and tactics, I didn't really dig what they were going for there. Seeing how you had to double jump over an enemy to avoid certain attacks. I feel like that.
Yeah, there's a Minotaur-esque enemy that's big enough to where you need to double jump over it to clear him or get to the other side of the screen and pelt him with arrows, and that might give you enough room.
Yeah, and I don't feel like that's really owning up to the snappy action gameplay of the original ActRaiser. Especially
the areas just don't even have like a big boss or anything. Like toward the end of the stream, I conquered the second main level to intro to a place, and it was all right. This is the same dragon you fought at the beginning of the stage. Nothing's different about it, but there was a platform over here.
Oh,
and it just kind of ended with fanfare, and I went, oh, this. Also, that dragon, in case you're wondering, shoots fire down and, you know, at a downward angle toward you, which means all you have to do is walk 2 steps, and it just can't hit you with the range because you're like technically under him and can still hit him in like the knee.
All right.
But I'd say that the biggest deal breaker of this game, if you know, because everything else is just like whatever, it's underwhelming. It's that foreground background stuff's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that seemed like the worst part.
It's way too hard to read it.
Yeah, and the Switch isn't making your life any easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know, I don't have the current model, the current year model of this OLED, so the input lag is abysmal here. It takes like 4 seconds for everything to react.
I feel like even if you had this year's OLED, it probably would still be bad. That thing cuts off a lot, but it doesn't magically make every game have great
black
input
frame
lag.
insertion, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Do you know what you mean?
No. But yeah, I spent about 2 hours with Soul Seraph. Underwhelming, but I'm glad I at least gave it a try because, you know,
yeah,
I had to know. I had to learn the information about this game.
And I also need to know, so.
And thankfully in my email, I don't need to do a follow-up one to let them know about the podcast because I remembered I said, and make sure to check back at gigaboots.com on Monday.
Thanks, KZ.
So, do you get health upgrades in this one?
Yes.
Because in ActRaiser, you got health upgrades from,
Bob, is KZ about to get us blacklisted from Sega?
Oh no, KZ. Well, at least it's just Sega UK.
Just Sega Europe.
Sega doesn't give a shit. This is a tiny little indie game.
They know what it is.
Yeah, they totally don't give a shit. Just look at how they do Sonic PR. They're like, you shit on this Sonic game? Okay, do a brand deal with me.
That's just good business.
Then I didn't say the game was shit, and maybe they'll think it's hilarious when they hear Phil's reaction to the bombshell.
I wish the music was better.
But yeah, that was one of 2 games I played this week. Was there anything else about Soul Seraph that we wanted to
Nope, looking
talk
forward
about?
to trying it on Xbox One X or PC, not sure which.
I bet it does true 4K.
I bet just like I bet with most. Well, see, here's the thing. It's Sega Europe, and I don't know where Ace Team is located. Does anyone know?
They are incredibly foreign. The last time I remember
but they're not
looking them up.
They're not Japanese devs.
They're
right?
No.
No.
they're
Okay.
Chilean.
Okay.
Yes, that's there.
So then there's a good chance the PC version's fine because there's still with Japanese devs, there's still a cultural thing where the
that's
PC
predominantly
version's
that was their main platform was PC because the
Oh yeah, Xenoclash. Yeah,
even
that's
with
true.
Rock of Ages, it's like you're using a cursor on individual tiles to set up your towers and that.
True. Okay, so maybe I'll check out the PC version. I would ask them for a code, but it seems someone else already did.
It's okay, Dan. We'll stream it too. I'm sure that's all I need.
Casey's
I had to go through a lot. I had to log into my European Switch account to pick this up.
Casey's like, sir, can I try out this food you're giving out samples of? And there he's like, yeah, sir, how would you like it? And he's like, wrapped in dog shit, please. I'm just saying, it's an Unreal Engine 4 game. Why'd you get it on the Switch?
I did not know it was an Unreal Engine 4 game, okay?
I just look at that game and I go, I would not on the Switch.
That's going to be my bit. Anytime I can get anyone to send me a video game so I can talk about it on the podcast, I'm getting the Switch port because everyone said perfect for Switch. That's the meme, so we got to fucking perfect.
KZ Portable Gamer.
Anything that's 3D and cheap is bad on the Switch.
Yeah,
that's just how it is going to be.
I look at a game like this and my first thought is it needs all the help it can get. So, I don't know. I'm not looking forward to that. What's the other game you played?
Feels cruel to say, but any game that doesn't say Nintendo on the package is probably not ideal on Switch.
Yeah.
You just need that Inti Create seal of approval.
Yep. I own both Blaster Master Zero games.
Hey guys, I'm sure Undertale runs fine on the Switch. Is Undertale on the Switch?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
Cave Story
It was,
It was kind of a big deal because I think
Last year.
Nintendo specifically, I think they specifically fronted money to get a Japanese localization. Or it might have been Sony. It was either Sony or Nintendo was like, do a Japanese localization because they want that.
Yeah, and A4 did that.
Yeah, I know it came out on the Vita, so...
Because I remember one of the big things the weekend it came out was Yoko Taro being like, I sat behind my friend who speaks English and he translated it for me as we played.
And he had to explain to me this meme about dogs. It's funny. It goes, yeah. The other game I played this week, also for Switch, was Into the Breach. I don't know if anyone else has played that game.
I have not, but I know what it is.
This is from the makers of FTL, Faster Than Light.
Oh.
Which was a kick-started indie game where you were on a space station trying to get to the edge of the universe. A lot of randomly generated stuff where you'd run into alien ships and you'd have to manage compartments of your ship. And was incredibly hard, where you just kind of do runs in that and you just lose. Into the Breach is a game where you are time traveling with mechs to the past to defeat an alien bug threat and you lose a bunch of runs over and over again. So I've been experiencing that for the past few days. It was on a sale on Switch at the time for about $7. And I really liked FTL, and I really like this as well. You get basically you get a team of 3 different mechs, and there's different sets that you can get by collecting coins. You get these coins from completing achievements during a run that carry over. And also, when you fail a run, one character that you had during that failed run can time travel back to the future so that he can then return to the past and try again, which is a neat way that they handle it. This game specifically is grid-based, So each mission that you go on, which starts in like an island area, you get to pick different parts of it, and then they give you a mission to do in it. And it's a large blocked grid that you set 3 mechs on, and then you go through turn-based combat. And it uses like movement and physics-based stuff, I guess, because you can like do an attack that's strong enough to push something off into the water, and then it'll drown that enemy. And the attacks play out where on the enemy's turn, they will set up what they're about to do, and then on your turn, you'll attempt to attack and disarm them or like take them out. And then when their turn starts, whatever they've targeted, they'll go for it. But if you push them, like say to the right, they're going to shoot in that direction, or they're going to attack in that direction. So every fight feels more like a puzzle to figure out like how you minimize damage, because you're looking to, one, avoid getting hit, but also there are a bunch of buildings in the area and they supply power to you. And if they take a hit, you've lost a little bit of energy on a power grid that has a few pips. And if you run out, you automatically lose your run. And runs can be pretty long. And then there's also like submissions of protect this shuttle as it's taking off, or protect this train that's going across the map, and makes a little bit of progress each turn. And it's really interesting because it feels similar to FTL in that it's very hard, some roguelike elements to it, but feels really challenging and rewarding. And I have a time-traveling military man named Dan Video Games in it. I don't know, it just looked like a Dan Video Games to me.
Is the whole game on a grid, or do you like boot up individual maps that are grids that you fight on, or do you literally like explore on a grid?
All right, so basically, you start the game. There's 4 islands, as far as I know. I've barely progressed in this because I get my ass kicked so hard and I don't want to play it on easy. You go on an island, a CEO talks to you like, hey, it's great that you time traveled to the past with your mechs to help us against these aliens. And then, now that you're on the island, it's split into different, like, districts. You select one, and they're like, this one has you defend the tanks in this zone. And then they load you into a grid to do that fight. I'm posting it in the Discord. This is generally what the UI looks like. You have your 3 mechs. Mine are the yellow ones there. And you're kind of just doing your best to take out the enemies and make sure they don't hit any of the buildings. And they mark in red the target, like where the damage is going to happen on the enemy's next turn. And it's your job to either kill them or hit them or shoot near them so that the impact of certain attacks will knock them in a certain direction to make sure that you don't get one of your buildings or someone you're trying to protect hit. Because sometimes tanking the damage or moving them is the best goal. And also on that map, toward the back of the screen, you can see some of the like spaces are broken up. And it's because the enemies burrow from the ground because they're bugs. And you can just stand on those spaces, so at the start of the turn, they just can't get out, and they can't spawn.
Huh.
But you'll take a point of damage, or you could knock an enemy onto a spawn point, and they will take that damage. And there's like goals of block the enemy 3 times, and the bonus objectives will give you stars or additional like power units, which you need those because that's your universal health across a run. And you can pay the stars that you obtain to get upgrades for your mechs. And then, of course, you get different ones. Your characters level up. And, of course, if you fail a run, you can transfer a character. And you'll typically go for the one that's leveled up enough so your next run could be a little easier. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. It is very challenging, but really rewarding. I like strategy games like this. It's not like active time or anything. It's just you play out your turn. Thankfully, there's a way to undo certain stuff to a degree. Like if you move into a spot that you don't think is the best because you realize that you can't attack a certain way, you can undo. But once something has attacked, anything you moved or did before then cannot be undone. So you just kind of figure out, all right, if I hit this way, this will set this up. And it leads to some funny interactions. But I've been clawing my way through that. I've unlocked another, like, set of mechs. Like, this one has a mech with 2 electric whips that when it strikes something, it will also hit any other unit that is connected to it via the squares. So you could like hit 4 or 5 enemies at once, including your own, if they're all like right next to each other. And there's a lot of different abilities. They really make good use of all the mechanics and different stuff in the game. But I've been having a lot of fun with this, despite not doing very well. Yeah, that's about it. It's I think it's available on all the consoles. At the very least, it came out on Switch last year. I think they closed like a Nindies Direct with it, and it was initially out on PC. Switch port's good. It's very, very simple controls, so there's not really much they had to do to make it feel satisfying or anything.
So wait, are you telling me that this game does not take proper advantage of the Switch Joy-Con IR camera? I feel like more games need to take advantage of the Switch's Joy-Con IR camera.
Now I would be able to tell you if HD Rumble was a thing, but I've been using the 8BitDo SNES controller, which, if you don't know, the Rumble feature in that is disturbingly large, so I just turn it off.
Wow. Okay.
It just it goes, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing, little guy?
Does that sound like a Wii U gamepad?
Yeah, does it sound like the Wii U gamepad, aka a Nokia phone from 1998?
So I'm playing this on a wired N-Gage, and it's working pretty well.
Nice. You side talking, bro?
I think you should give N-Gage games a chance.
No, because
N-Gage roulette.
If I spend even a cent getting video out of an N-Gage, I'm just gonna have a fucking crisis.
That's the crisis. How can I output the N-Gage to an OLED?
Hail Xeon actually gave me his childhood Virtual Boy, and I'm
got a Sonic game on it.
I'm not gonna say I'm not interested in modding that for RGB out and getting a flash cart, but I am gonna say I am restraining myself.
I am gonna say that there's bigger fish to fry.
Exactly.
If you're looking for a game to waste your time on, do a lot of short-ish runs, because you can stop at any time, and a lot of runs can just end in 15 or 20 minutes. Definitely recommend Into the Breach. It did quite well, like review-wise, from what
I heard. I heard it was received well.
And I kind of avoided it for a while with good reason, because I put a lot of time into
FTL.
Into FTL, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I know I'm gonna like this, but I'd rather not make the mistake. Yeah, it's got a 90 on Metacritic.
Nice.
So this game did incredibly well. Out of curiosity, what is Soul Seraph looking at?
Okay, that's. Hey, Bob.
Hey, what's up?
63.
Bob, what have you been playing?
What's Bloodstained?
Ignore KZ in the corner of the room beating the dead horse.
Right.
What have you been playing?
What are you talking about? I'm just doing it for science.
Look, some things shouldn't be compared, KZ. It's just not fair.
Hey, I played it. I thought it was acceptable for the most part.
No, nothing you said sounded like that, but
Okay, the gameplay aspect of moving around the character and hitting was acceptable. All right, there we go. Bob.
So this week,
KZ saying he likes it more than Dragon's Lair on the Sega CD. The buttons do
I haven't played that, so probably. The true winner is Lunar the Silver Star for the Sega CD.
You're not wrong.
I can't imagine that game being
worse than Soul
Please look forward to our full playthrough live stream of Lunar for the Sega CD.
Don't do that.
Don't look forward to it.
Right? Why would you do this?
Don't give it power.
I will not live stream my funeral.
Right, we don't need to do another
You are. That's happening in August.
The Silver Star isn't even the good one.
It is the good one, Boomer.
Silver Star came out before the one that is the good one.
Exactly. That's why you're a boomer.
I can't.
What is going on?
For liking the more modern one?
Yes. You cannot understand the form of my attack.
Hey, Bob, what have you been playing?
This week.
Hey, can we interrupt Bob once again to make Dan want to kill himself?
No!
No, let's let Bob talk.
Okay.
The Kill la Kill game demo came out this week. So I actually played a lot of that.
I believe it's called Kill la Kill If.
Yes, if. Because it's an alternate
How
scenario.
is that? As a person who loves 3D anime brawlers, Bob.
It is honestly probably the best one. Like I actually
Really?
I like played a lot of it. It was just a demo, and I played just versus a good bit. There's a decent bit of variation you can do to the attacks. Everything feels kind of snappy. Even your like super moves that look cool only take a couple seconds. It doesn't feel like you're just watching a movie for half a minute. Yeah. I need to play it against other actual people instead of just CPUs to really get a good judge of it. Other than that, but just doing CPU battles was fun. Like, there's lots of neat things going on there.
I watched some gameplay of that, and it did look like it was the most interesting one mechanically.
Yeah, you get dash attacks, you get long range and short range attacks, and you can kind of mix between them to do different combos.
Can't believe that game's real. It's 2019.
Right? Well, they
Got a
had to
Kill
time
Kill
it with
game coming out.
the Kill la Kill Blu-ray complete set coming out.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's still incredibly overpriced. Don't get too excited.
Oh, I wasn't going to buy it. I'm just like, ooh, for the people.
Yeah, it's like $250.
It's not overpriced because it's a premium anime.
God. Those
Bob,
guys.
Bob, we need to explain to these people. You like Gurren Lagann? Well, guess what, motherfucker? You like shit compared to Kill la Kill.
God. Dan, we don't need to start this here.
The Gurren Lagann Blu-ray set is 3 times as much.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like $700 or $800 or something.
that's
Wait,
overpriced.
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah, the-
super
it's the
large, like a mega box with art books.
It's the
and,
same
like,
company. What
Yeah, it's
happened?
One of them's over. Never
the-
mind. I'm not gonna.
I mean, the Gurren Lagann one has a million things and like a gigantic box with gorgeous art and has really high production value, everything. And the Kill la Kill one is $250 because America is in the same Blu-ray region as Japan.
Yep. And
It was a good choice.
other companies figured it out and were able to release things at lower prices, but not Aniplex. They're not going to do that.
It's hell.
But yeah,
I enjoyed Kill la Kill. I haven't seen it since it first came out, but by the end, it was one of the most hyped shows I was watching in years.
yeah, it's still one of my favorites for sure. I need to rewatch it.
I like the part where it became Sonic Adventure 2.
Sonic Adventure 2 is a good video game, so that's fine.
Yep. Final Hazard.
Why you gotta say trigger words? You see the list. Don't fucking say them.
Ruh-roh.
Look, we pin these things in the podcast Discord for a reason, Casey. You don't bring up Final Hazard.
I'm sorry. Our current pins, the top one is just cringe before Zavik.
God damn it, is it really?
Look at the pins in general.
God damn it, Phil.
I didn't pin it. KZ's the one with pin power.
You posted it. It's your post.
As I said to KZ during Smash, not even 40 minutes ago, I just wish, well, it was exactly 40 minutes ago. I just wish for one fucking week where Zavik doesn't come up. That's all I hope for anymore.
You were talking about Team Sonic Racing, to which he is a character in it.
Luckily, Zavik is not in Kill la Kill.
Oh, that's great.
This demo only let me try out 4 characters, but they were all pretty neat.
Are you sure? I feel like Gamagori is basically Zavik.
Okay,
Don't fucking do Gamagori dirty like that, you
if
asshole.
Zavik was that interest, if Zavik put himself in bondage and whipped himself, that would be hilarious.
Just wait till the next
If-
3D Sonic game that will totally come
Zavik
out.
will never have a moment as incredible as his in the final episode where he's
I took
Please.
off my headphones.
Please.
We should
Dan
not
still
spoilers.
hasn't finished the series.
Oh,
Yeah,
please.
I have a cruel girlfriend with no fucking heart in her chest.
My favorite thing is hearing Dan talk about removing his headphones while Phil's still doing it, and it's like
I couldn't
the train is flying off the cliff, and I'm like, this is the best shit in the world. Look at this chaos, Bob.
It's okay, I censored it.
So we're gonna beep this, or do I have to throw my pants in the microphone to get us to beep it?
Oh no, I beeped it. Don't worry about it.
I didn't even really spoil anything.
Whatever.
Hey, Dan's very afraid of anything that would spoil. The
Yeah,
thing.
I care
With
about
good reason.
spoilers immensely, unless it's Final Fantasy 15.
Exactly.
Because that game
Poor
probably
thing
isn't
about
even
Cloud.
real.
There are spoilers. There's not a lot of story going on in there, so it's really extra important.
These tiny tidbits, these crumbs, are very important.
Yeah, you have to take it in, pace yourself like a man starving.
Their car breaks down. You son of a bitch!
I can't believe you spoiled the first 5 minutes.
That's most of the plot.
The other game I
Spoiled
played.
the first 5 minutes and the final scene of Kingsglaive.
Oh my god.
Bob, what else did you...
The other game I played was Dr. Mario on the iPhone.
That's
How is
cool.
that?
It seems neat. I need to play more of it to get a good grasp of it because I feel like certain powers make... Because each doctor has their own power. Like Peach, her power is randomly making a column disappear of everything. So it kills all the viruses,
Daisy
kills
in
all the
this
blocks.
game?
What was that?
Do we have a Dr. Daisy?
I don't know. I'm not that far.
This is very crucial. I need to know this.
I got to choose my three starter doctors. I got Dr. Peach, Dr. Bowser, or Dr. Mario.
And yet, no Dr. Dre.
No.
Dr. Mario?
Right, I know. New to the series. But the whole idea is that there's kind of preset what the order of germs, and it seems like you even preset the order you're going to get the pills. So I feel like there's a perfect way of doing it. Maybe I'm wrong there, but when you get the thing that does randomize deleting a column, it makes it impossible to do it as perfectly as you want. Because like something...
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I need to play more to see if it continues to be a problem, but it happened like the first time I used the power and I was upset. Luckily, you don't have to activate the powers.
Distraught.
It's just
I'm distraught.
why is it here if it's like this? I don't know.
There is no Daisy in this video game.
Oh no.
I had to look. Your playable characters: Dr. Mario, Dr. Peach, Dr. Luigi, Dr. Toad, Dr. Yoshi, which I have a lot of problems with that.
I'm sure that we'll get DLC.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll keep adding characters.
Dr. Toadette, Dr. Ludwig, Dr. Wendy,
Okay,
Dr. Bowser.
I am not going to
Bob's
Dr.
favorite,
Ludwig.
Dr. Bowser Jr.
All of the spawn of Bowser are not to be trusted. I might trust Bowser as a doctor, but none of those other guys.
Yeah, not a suspect. I mean, what? They paid a certain amount of money and a degree came in the mail.
Look, you may not realize it, but Ludwig, he is in it for the art of destroying viruses. Or viri.
The art of malpractice.
But yeah,
That's Wendy.
Wendy Okupa.
So is it kind of good? Is it bad? Where's
it seems okay. Like I didn't hate it.
I mean,
Which, you know,
I saw you had to like pull for doctors, so you like do your gotcha pull to get your stuff.
I didn't even get to that yet. I've hardly played much of it.
Oh, I see. It's for like assistance, because I decided to look it up so I at least had an idea. So you can like, oh man, I pulled a Bob-omb and a Buzzy Beetle and a Peepa.
And yeah, I can like pay for power-ups at the beginning of rounds, like one where you get... So every round says like, okay, you can only use so many pills. Like you have 10 pills is your limit.
What's wrong, Dan?
I'm just...
But you buy the bonus, and then you can add 20 pills.
Oh my god.
And pop some more pills.
God, it's like esports.
Just gotta feel that rush, man. It's good to see that Nintendo's realized that making a mobile game where you charge up front's probably not gonna make the game do well.
Just spend $1 and you can pop some Adderall. Be a better doctor.
But just make it a puzzle game with gotcha stuff in it.
But yeah, I mean, it's a free-to-play game. Go if you're interested at all in puzzle games, give it a shot.
If you're still under the grand delusion that Dr. Mario might be a good puzzle game, feel free to check it out on your phone today.
It feels way different than a regular Dr. Mario game.
Yeah.
It's probably the most interesting Dr. Mario
It's
game.
probably the best Dr. Mario game. I looked at how it worked, and I was like, yeah, that's better than normal Dr. Mario. Fuck that shit.
Dan just walks up and attacks people like this, and I'm the bad guy for my Final Fantasy IX thing.
One,
I don't think
Dr. Mario is
Dr. Mario.
Dr. Mario.
So unrespected compared to Final Fantasy
Does Dr.
IX.
Mario have like people who are like, yeah, Dr. Mario.
Okay, here.
Dr. Mario above Final Fantasy 9, but not 12.
Let me go ahead and explain the sort of people who love Dr. Mario. They wear a Nintendo t-shirt. They write books that are book equivalents of Let's Plays of Mario 3. They love Captain N.
Are you saying that the target audience of Dr. Mario is Bob Chipman?
Yes.
But yeah, there's things like in no other Dr. Mario game where there's shells. There's shells, and you link it up with a shell, and it'll destroy every germ that's on that same row as it.
Wait, you link shells with shells?
You link shells with your pills.
Oh, okay.
And the shells are different colors, just like the germs and the pills.
Okay.
So you can link up. Okay, this one's got one germ, one shell, and then you put your vitamin in there, and it makes the third one.
Bob, did you just make up a third term?
Look, the pills, vitamins, whatever they are.
Okay, don't switch. It already got confusing.
Yes.
Pills, vitamins, jelly beans.
Bob takes one sentence, says the same word twice, pretends they're two different words. The next sentence, he invents a third term. Bob, how much more confusing is your description of this puzzle game going to get? When you enter the second trimester. Yeah, it looks all right. That mechanic you just mentioned makes me think about Yoshi. Not Yoshi's Cookie, but Yoshi.
Yoshi.
The game, not the person. Yoshi might be a better puzzle game than Dr. Mario.
On this podcast like 2 weeks ago.
I think it was months, but you could say it's 2 weeks ago. I'll let you.
Yes, we were talking about Dr. Mario.
Yeah, Yoshi comes up whenever we do that, it seems.
Yeah.
Where am I?
Well, that's because they occupy the same space of, for some reason, people know about these puzzle games, but they're not good at all.
Well, at least Dr. Mario, they made a lot of them.
Face off. Dr. Mario versus Yoshi's Cookie versus Wario's Woods, featuring Bomberman.
Wario's Woods, it wins by a landslide. How incredible. The only matchup where it could do that. If Columns entered the fray, it would look like an action movie hero. The only time Columns has ever been seen as a fucking Chad. Speaking of which, hey Bob.
What's up?
This month's Patreon bumper for executive producers.
Uh-huh.
Columns 3 music. Turns out Columns 3 has some really good music.
Nice.
Yeah.
Columns has, in general, pretty good music.
As it turns out, it's kind of got better music than it has graphics, which sort of works out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Dr. Mario has really, really good music, specifically one song, and bad everything else.
The new one looks nice, at least.
Well, that's good.
And it's got that good music, and it's got a really nice looking UI for when you're going through the world map it has.
Does it have the classic music?
It doesn't seem to have just straight up classic music. It's all kind of remixes of it.
Yeah, that song was stolen, so...
Allegedly.
No. No. That is not allegedly.
I know, we had this conversation 2 weeks ago.
I know.
So, Dan,
Allegedly.
in the echelon of puzzle games you probably shouldn't play,
Yeah.
where does Clax fit in?
It is the 90s.
I worry that Dr. Aggro might have opinions on Clax because he had opinions on Quicks.
I have no idea what these games are.
Clax is raw.
Quicks.
Let me just... QIX, I believe it is spelled. Yeah? No, that's not the one he has.
Oh,
an
that's
opinion in.
like a board game.
No, I'm thinking of a
Got
different
nothing on
game. Man,
Clax.
I cannot remember the name of. Maybe Clax is the one I'm thinking of because Quicks, as I just said, it was some other thing. The one where you cut panels into a thing. I don't know if I've ever known a human being who loved Clax. I mean,
That's me right here. Because it is the 90s. It's time for Clax. Look at it. This is great.
no one.
Wow, what is
That's Clax. That's
My God.
They're on a conveyor belt going toward you, and you try to make stacks of the same color.
Bob. Let me just explain this game. What if we did a cool visual effect where a sprite came at you and
Whoa.
wrapped it around a shitty puzzle game?
Oh man, that's
What
cool.
if it was the 90s?
And we had good puzzle games? And
No, just that first part.
oh, well, I mean,
Hey,
the 90s.
no, we have good cover art too.
Yeah, the cover art's all right. It's okay.
It's
Also,
like, look, I broke my hand.
Why?
also, it's only barely the 90s because it's literally that game came out in 1990.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, but when you load up that game, it says it is the 90s.
In AD 2101, Clax was a good game, Sip. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Clax would even lose out compared to all of them in that battle royale we just listed. He would come
Big
in
fan
dead
of the fact
fucking
someone's gonna
last.
have to put in the timestamps.
Mm-hmm.
Clax.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. Someone has to write
We're
that
making it.
name in 2019 anywhere.
It's the 90s in 2019.
No, that's about as wrong as you can be, as it turns
I
out.
mean, it feels like the 90s. I went to the movie theater. There were a bunch of movies out that sounded like 90s things. Made enough sense to me. Men in Black, Toy Story.
Jesus Christ. Sophia, what have you been playing this week?
I played one game. I've been playing World of Final Fantasy since I bought it when it came out, which I think was 2016.
What the honk?
And then I didn't get very far into it because every single time the mascot character Tama talked, I wanted
Yeah.
to blow my brains out.
I love verbal tics.
And if you don't know, they have a verbal tick where they just add the word "the" before things. And after
bouncer.
about 30 seconds, it makes you want to peel the skin off your face.
No, if it was the bouncer for Tom, it'd be the bouncer or the bouncer.
They don't do it doesn't you don't get that, but like instead of them just saying get ready, you get the ready, and after a few minutes it starts making you want to die. So I didn't get very far because of that, and then because they said like we're doing a dual audio patch soon. I'm like, I'll wait for that. Then I fucking forgot.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Then that Maxima DLC came out, and I bought that because it was on sale a couple
I
months
think
ago.
it finally adds Final Fantasy 12 characters to the game.
And now I'm just at the point where it's like, okay, before I buy any new games, because there's July is kind of empty, and then August is kind of empty till the end. I'm like, let me get through all this backlog. So I'm doing that. World of Final Fantasy is a good game.
Yeah.
I'm still a little bit convinced it was meant to be a Kingdom Hearts game because your monsters have the exact same progression system as Dream Eaters.
It does. It has that big, like, board.
I think it's even called the same thing. I think both are called the Mirage board, or maybe it's like the Dream board.
Yeah, it's like spirit stuff in Kingdom Hearts, and this is Mirages.
Did you get to show candy at them?
No, they just get points that move them along the board when you level up.
Okay.
They are also
Which is
most literally Pokemon.
Yes, except dumber. Because the way you capture them is in some ways better because it's literally just like fulfill a specific condition on them and now they're weakened so you can catch them. So it'll be like hit it with a physical attack, hit it with a magical attack, hit it with an ice attack.
Yes.
The problem it does become problematic because you end up having to buy a lot of items that inflict status effects because some of them are that, or you get the one that I just ran into earlier today where hit me with a counter attack, which means you just have to let yourself get walloped until the counter procs.
How far along are you in World of Final Fantasy?
I just fought Gilgamesh on the big bridge.
Yeah, that's great. There's the Colosseum in that game that
Yeah.
I feel like you get the Colosseum pretty early on. What's
Yeah, you
funny,
do.
if you do a few fights in that, they throw in some pretty powerful enemies that you met
can just-
earlier in the game, and you can just catch them and then coast the rest of the game.
Yeah, that they throw Shiva and Ifrit at you pretty soon too.
And their weakness to catch them are hit me with my weakness, and then it's just
No,
a
it's
random.
it's dumber.
Oh,
it's
it's
hit
like
me with what I'm strong against. And it's,
Oh, yeah.
And if you want a better chance to catch them, you have to do it repeatedly. So if it's like hit me with a physical attack, if you beat them savagely, they become easier to catch.
yeah. With that, I was such a low level at the time. Like they could one shot me, but if I hit one of them with their thing and then throw the ball and get lucky, it's like, well, there we go.
Yeah.
I can I can ride on their shoulder because this game has that totem gameplay for the combat.
I did the I cheated a little bit and got a shitload of experience because you do the you get access to a weird girl drinking tea and you pay her medals that you find to play little scenarios where you fight enemies and see cutscenes featuring the Final Fantasy characters, like without your main characters involved. And those will like give you rewards and also change things in previous areas. So you do the very first one of those where you play as the Warrior of Light, and then you can go fight who he fought, and you can imprison her. It's a goblin princess. She has like 40,000 health. But if you imprison her, you get the experience for beating her, which is like 45,000.
The dub for that specific moment is really great when I first played it, where he's getting ready to do the sword thing, and then the Goblin Princess ad-libs a scream of, "Oh my god!" Just like fucking JoJo's. It's really good. That game has a superb localization.
God, the story is glacially paced. Like,
yes. Yeah, it is.
It's like, it feels like it has the Kingdom Hearts pacing where it actually feels exactly like Dream Drop Distance, except with Final Fantasy instead of Disney things, where it's like, no, we can't. You can't interact with these big villains you keep seeing. You have to get saved by lightning, and then saved by Squall, and then saved by Tifa or whatever. Like every single Final Fantasy character has to save the party, so you clap.
Yeah, it's you go to an area, you meet a Final Fantasy cameo, and they say, "Let me take you over here."
It sounds way better than Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, and just like Kingdom Hearts, all the story shit is shoved at the end. So yeah, you're totally right.
I really hope this game gets a sequel because that downplays the Final Fantasy. Like, I don't want them to downplay the Final Fantasy stuff. I want to not be saved by every Final Fantasy protagonist one after the other while there almost isn't a story until the end. Because I think this gameplay style and the characters they created, the villains, look really cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the knight villains that they made for...
Like, you got the Plume Knight, who looks raw.
Yes!
And then you got the dude with the 3 masks, which is insane looking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna post a picture of him because he looks so cool.
Also, it seems like they're going to go ahead and probably do a sequel, because they did the mobile game, and then they said that they had already written stuff for a sequel. Then they put out this, and this has a Kingdom Hearts Secret movie in it that sets up the next game that wasn't in the original version. That dude, I forgot about it. His proportions.
Does he only have 1 foot?
I think he's like a genie.
Yeah.
But then the other main antagonist character, who's like the rival character, is just a Heartless.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just looks like a Heartless.
Yeah, these were some decent designs.
But the gameplay really holds up on its own. Like, the stacking system is fun, even if it's weird. So I do hope this gets a sequel. I am enjoying it. I don't know if they added the Make Combat Faster button in Maxima.
I think they did. I think it just played normally in the original.
That would have been less good.
I'll have to look at my own content of the game when the game came out to find out.
Because without that button, it would just go so slow.
And I feel like Nomura had a lot of influence on this anyway, because this is yet another game of his that just puts in an Einhander thing.
Beyond like the glacial pacing of the story, the only thing I really don't like is like the dungeon design is bad. Like the big bridge dungeon is run straight forever.
Oh yeah, I specifically remember that. I don't remember any fucking dungeon in that game, but that one, yes. It's bad.
It's just go straight, motherfucker.
And it just doesn't end.
Also, some of them have the problem where it's like, catch mirages in this dungeon to progress, which doesn't seem like that bad a mechanic, but it is annoying that it's like, I have my set that I like and I want them to all get experience. If I could swap them out whenever, that would be fine. But it also like money gates you being able to change things wherever you want, because you have to pay for an item that costs a lot.
Also, yeah, fast forwarding was totally in the original release. They knew that people would have issues with that, because grinding too. it'd be.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna bitch about this. This is nitpicky, but whatever. If you're making a RPG, this isn't fucking hard. The experience that I see on the results screen should be the experience every character gets. Not only do they do the thing where they just show you the total and then it gets divided by your party members, they do the thing where your reserve characters don't get as much.
Yeah, I hate that.
And it drives me up a wall. And I think it might do ratioing based on your level.
It might. Again, I haven't played it since it came out, and I kind of just burned through it over a couple of months.
Also, it has the Vita disease where, like, you'll watch a 5-minute cutscene or go through, like, a 2-screen area that took 10 seconds, and it'll be like, do you want to save? Because it's a Vita game, and like, a lot of Square Enix games that were also on Vita were cut into, like, really small chunks for what they perceived was portable consumption, and it really fucked them over. This one doesn't really get it because it's just a linear JRPG, but like Dragon Quest Heroes 1, which is another one they did, was bad about that.
I feel like Final Fantasy 13 did saves just like that, where you just like run through the corridor for a minute and there's another save point right there.
Not even a save point, I'm talking about like the chapter's over, save, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
chapter,
yeah.
Because I'm like halfway through the game and on like chapter 24.
Yeah, I thought it was weird just how many chapters are in it and how little is accomplished.
But that's all I have to say about that. Overall, a pretty good game.
I had a great time when I played through it. I just think the localization there is especially good because of all the descriptions you get when you catch mirages. There's like good joke writing about everything, especially the stuff related to the Xenogears Mirage. Which I never did get to, because that's like the super dungeon related stuff, which I did not touch.
I really wanted to try World of Final Fantasy, but I still haven't gotten around to it.
Oh, fair warning for anybody who wants to try it. The first 2 hours unless you're prepared for 2 hours of glacial pacing and tutorials, you will bounce off. I don't know why they did it that way, but it's just like tutorial, cutscene about the tutorial. They make you do a 10-minute segment of there's cubes with giant glowing red eyes full of miasma. And instead of just going, those are full of powerful enemies you probably can't beat the first time you encounter them, it makes you touch it, makes you fight it and die, and then makes you respawn in the hub area and go back to where it was.
Man. There must have been a time void. I remember nothing about this game, apparently.
Like, a lot of stuff that could be settled in one line by the mascot character, who is always with you, by the way, for the love of God, change those Japanese voices.
No, the dub's fine. Fantastic. I need to be able to hear the character from Dirge of Cerberus that is in World of Final Fantasy.
Stop talking about that.
Yeah, don't want to have a conversation that goes down the wrong alleyway.
Dan has to remain pure for final February.
Correct.
You play anything else, Phil?
No, that was it.
Oh, okay. I rearranged the entire fucking living room so that way we can redo our fucking setup.
How are the mechanics of rearranging your living room?
Fulfilling, rewarding. There's a lot of let me explain it. So in Resident Evil 4, you can arrange things in your inventory, and based on how well you do that, you can fit more things in an area and have more space, but also pack more things. I feel like
you could fit like 8 OLEDs in your room.
We did that effectively. Jesus Christ. Okay, are we counting?
Just surround yourself an octagon of OLEDs.
Are we counting Vitas? Those have OLED screens.
Only the early ones. They eventually took out the OLED.
Dan has 8 OLEDs. That's right. He owns 6 Vitas for some fucking reason. That's ridiculous. But yeah, it's great because now we have all the consoles set up right next to my PC, so that way I can adjust things on the OSSC and immediately get feedback, which is going to be helpful for a technical video we're going to get done this month, which is a very comprehensive comparison of the FrameMeister and OSSC. Because even though eventually a lot of the channels that helping people set up their retro consoles came around and started recommending the OSSC more and more, none of them really took a video or a moment to be like, oh, and the FrameMeister's fucking shit, and it fucks up all your goddamn colors. No one took a moment to say that, so...
Yeah, a lot of popular streamers use the FrameMeister, and that's kind of how that whole thing developed. Like a speedrunner that I followed for years, like 4 years, used the FrameMeister. Aren't they like going out or like discontinuing the FrameMeister? Because I heard something related to one of those.
So what happened was about a year ago, there were rumblings that they were going to stop producing them entirely, and very recently it was more officially announced.
Yeah,
those
I
things...
saw a streamer I follow react to that, like, hopefully they find some way to deal with this, and I'm like, oh, this is probably bad.
I mean, there's only one thing the FrameMeister is doing for you that the OSSC can't, and that's using a different type of deinterlacing algorithm, and that's really not that integral. Like, the OSSC still deinterlaces your footage, and it has less input lag, so... And your videos look better. Like, our video for Orphan and the Bouncer are done on the OSSC. The OSSC doesn't add lag. It
the
looks
two
really
iconic
sharp.
games.
We only gave like 2 games a chance this year, which is why Soul Seraph needs to be the next one we do.
Finally, some modern games.
Yeah, we like to cover only contemporary games here at Gigabooth. But yeah,
home of the 10-minute quick look.
The funny thing is, a while ago, the FrameMeister was going for outrageous prices. Like, I'm pretty fucking sure, and Bob can back me up, maybe, when we were getting the OSSC, like 1.5, 2 years ago, whatever, the FrameMeister was like almost $500 on eBay.
I remember being like at least $350. I don't remember being up at $500, but maybe.
It's $350-ish now. I could have sworn that thing was more expensive because it was a fever pitch hype.
Right.
Like, people thought it was the solution for this shit. Because, as I said, at that point, no one had realized the OSSC was better, and I was losing my mind because I didn't have one in my hands to show what it was doing better. Literally everything. But, so, as they kept improving the OSSC, people came around to that. I feel like the price has gone down. But who knows, from this point forward, it may go back up. But yeah, we're going to do a comparison video of that by the end of this month. That's why we haven't scheduled any big projects this month. It's a fucking outrageously difficult video to do comprehensively and well, instead of just saying word salad and moving on. But it's very nice, this new setup, being able to have those consoles right there, easily hook into the PC and easily hook into the TV. It's very convenient. I used to have to like adjust some fucking things. Let me explain. The fucking OSSC screen to display what options you're changing is the size of 2 fingers. So put out your index finger and your middle finger. That is the size of the fucking OSSC screen. So my PC's on one end of the room, the OSSC's on another end of the room, and I need to change the fucking sampling rate by 12.5 degrees. Recalibrate some software on my PC, and then check it in Photoshop. That is a pain in the ass when I have to keep running across the room to make sure I change the right fucking value. It's a nightmare, but the new setup's real good. Yeah, that's about all I've got to say about that, I think. Yeah, it's really convenient having all this stuff over here, and we've got a new setup in the living room.
Very good.
I posted a picture of the consoles. People very much appreciated your Death Smiles Xbox 360 faceplate, Bob.
It's a good faceplate.
It actually,
I like your lace stacks.
Bob, I posted that picture. KZ was like, "Oh shit, lace stacks," and I'm like, "Oh shit, there's lace stacks in the room." And then I found it was just your change cup, and I was really sad.
Oh.
My God.
This was like at 4:30 a.m. or some shit too.
I was so hungry. Lace stacks, salt and vinegar would have been perfect. I was destroyed, obliterated. But yeah, no, that's great. I love rearranging this Gigaboots HQ. Things are getting a lot better, and we also got some new equipment, which we will be able to do videos on after we get done with the nightmarishly difficult OSSC versus FrameMeister video. For those who don't know, this video has haunted me because each step of the way has been nightmarish, and there are a lot of very complex things you need to fucking understand in order to do a video like this. Even if you don't need to understand it as a viewer, it's something you need to understand for calibrating these and recording them and explaining shit. But anyways, I didn't play any games this week because I've been rearranging all of that. You know what was the last game I played before Smash, Bob?
What's that?
Fucking Mario Maker 2.
Yeah, that's tragic.
Oh, that was a good experience, right?
That literally sapped my soul out of my face. And low-key,
I
I passed
a little bit of that. It was spoony.
Low-key, I passed out off camera.
Oh.
Not even from exhaustion, just from the soul damage.
Well, it was later in the same week as Final Fantasy VII, wasn't it, Bob?
Oh God, is that how? I think that's right.
Yeah,
it seems insane, but
Yeah, it was. It was at the end of the week.
So it went Final Fantasy VII and then Mario Maker 2, Episode 2, and it just, it took, it...
Raw.
It
way
was,
worse than episode 1.
It was soul-rending. I still plan on doing more like live episodes of that and recorded episodes of that, but as you know, because the stream already happened, we're doing a TurboGrafx stream tomorrow, the day after this recording. I'm very excited. Lots of people are going to appreciate China Warrior by the time we're done with that.
TurboGrafx is a very cool system.
I hope
Very
you play. I hope somebody makes you play Legendary Axe, the game where the second boss is just a rock.
Yes! Legendary Axe is a very cool game. Soul Seraph wishes it was Legendary Axe.
Soul Seraph is raw. You're going to find out when you buy it.
I'm going to find out stuff about it, I'm sure. But, yeah, aside from that, don't have anything we really want to announce other than, yeah, I would like to do a Soul Seraph video in the next week or so. So we'll get around to that, and please look forward to that OSSE versus Framemeister video. You know what else you should look forward to? Being thanked if you're a pod lord.
I'm always looking forward to my pod lords. They're like, hey, what's up? I'm here. And I'm like, money, yeah. Aw.
I'm always looking forward to whatever bit we'll have to announce the segment. For a long time, we had Dan forgetting them as the segment.
I'm a big fan of whenever Field talks about Patreon.
But he can't do that until I thank the pod lord, so I better get hurrying before he just does that anyways.
Yes, correct.
Do your Hanna-Barbera run toward the pod lord list.
Yep, we got that Scooby-Doo foot slipping on the ground sound effect.
Yep.
Dan's just running in the apartment, and it's like it's just a looping background, so it looks like Dan has like 12 OLEDs.
The Flintstones thing.
I thought you were gonna say he has like a realistic door on one of the OLEDs, so he just runs straight through the screen.
I like both of these. I'm okay with both of these.
If anyone wants to make any fan art of that and tweet it.
The Podlords for this episode of the Big Think Dimension are Danny Richardson, Natgak, E. Lee Broyles, Vox, who are you? Crimson, Corey Brown, Dank Mormons, Red Blaze 27, Jucifer, Suzushiro, and Matty Mo. Thank you very much to our Podlords.
Thanks, Podlord.
Thank you, God Lords.
Thank you, Pod Lords.
Godlords thing. That fucking tweet killed me.
Yeah.
Where can people go if they want to become Podlords?
If you would like to become a Pod Lord, you could go to patreon.com/gbpodcasts. We have our Pod Lords tier. It gets you your name called on every episode of Big Think Dimension. And if you don't have enough money to become a Pod Lord, you can also give $5 a month to get exclusive commentary tracks, shows, and other bonuses. That is patreon.com/gbpodcasts.
Well, thank you. I think we really solved the mystery there.
It is the 90s.
I think it's time to get to news. I see someone has written, Dan has nice ears under my news. What even the fuck brought this on?
I'm sorry, I had to write something there that was completely neutral about you because you have no news.
I was busy this week. I really did.
I know.
I really did want to play Soul Seraph before the podcast, but fucking getting everything set up sucked. I've still got a whole fucking day of wrapping cables ahead of me. But Bob, what news do we have behind us and thus is relevant right now?
Kingdom Under Fire 2.
No, that's not.
A real video game coming to North America and Europe in the year 2019. Originally announced in 2008.
What? What?
Oh,
I've been waiting.
Dude, this is happening. Agent is happening.
This really is.
this
that
is
tier.
how much I don't know what Kingdom Under Fire is. Was that even what it's fucking called? Yeah, Kingdom Under Fire. I thought this was Hellgate London.
No. Kingdom Under Fire. It's like Dynasty Warriors. But you actually get to control large groups of units. And it's basically an RTS mixed with Dynasty Warriors. And then Kingdom Under Fire 2 adds being an MMO to that.
Yes. So, figure that out.
This thing, I was trying to look up the dev history of it because it's insane.
Oh, yeah,
I'm reading the wiki and it looks like insane language.
It has sort of existed. This isn't just coming out of nowhere.
Wait. It says at one point it talks about the CBT phase, the cock and ball torture phase of this video game.
I think that's closed beta test, KZ.
Oh.
Hey, Bob, what's up? What's the actual?
It actually released in China and in Korea. The Chinese version is just shut down completely in 2017. It released in Russia was shut down. This game is weird. I can't.
What the fuck? Is it on tour? Is it like see Kingdom Under Fire 2 before it's gone?
Yeah, it's just like the McRib.
But it's okay, Phil, because coming soon you can buy the live album.
But yeah, it's being published by GameForge here. We'll see if it actually happens. I'm not sure if the Korean version's still up. I had trouble even finding out if it actually released in Korea. It's made in Korea, so I assume it did. And I found some things saying that betas went up in Korea, but I couldn't find anything about an actual release.
Apparently, it has never released commercially. It has only done weird beta tests.
Right. But the beta test lasted years before the shutdown. Apparently, something like in 2014, they lost half their dev staff, and that really screwed things up, and I don't think they've recovered since.
I don't think any of this is real.
I'm sorry.
This sounds extremely...
This is like some Truman Show shit.
Strange.
Half of the dev team we lost included the hiring managers, and now we can't restaff.
Oh no! They're trapped.
This is
we fired the person who owned the keys. We're locked inside the building.
This is nightmarish, Bob.
Yeah.
Kingdom Under Fire 1 we played on the Xbox original.
Yeah, and I remember getting hyped for this in 2008 because I liked the first one.
Yeah.
Man, people thought Versus 13 was bad.
We've moved the bar. The bar is now higher.
So I'm excited to play Kingdom Under Fire 2 in 2019.
You're gonna give it a chance?
Continue to be.
Jesus fucking Christ. Sure. You know what though? We gotta give Kingdom Under Fire 1 a chance before it comes out.
I remember it being good. It's probably not good.
It's probably not good. I remember you thinking it was good, and I remember me thinking it was not good.
It had a really
Are you going to play the three other Kingdom Under Fire games?
No, those were all really bad.
Yeah, we're not gonna
there's no debate about those other ones.
We're not gonna worry about it.
You don't want to play Kingdom of Fire Circle of Doom for the 360?
That was the 360 one, right? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
you
bad.
play the movie game for Reign of Fire?
Welcome to A Fire Month.
Oh no, then you have to play Bound by Flame, which is one of the worst games I ever played because it wants you to take it seriously, and then the villains are named shit like Chiller and Frost Boy. I made that one up, but it's the same energy.
That's the leader of the Rippers?
Yeah, that's the one made by Spiders, and I don't think they make real video games over there.
Oh no.
They're putting out something big
Bob,
like this year.
Bob, what's this other news I'm
they're putting
saying?
out
The other
Greedfall.
It sounds very real.
It's very real.
The Taiwanese rating board rated a new Monkey Ball game called Tabegoro Super Monkey Ball. So I guess that's going to be announced soon.
Well, that's
I am very excited. Super Monkey Ball is great.
it's cool.
Stop.
It's kind of been complicated to justify a $50 price point at any point in human history, but
Yes, that is true. I hope it has a bunch of dumb mini games like bowling.
it's a cool game. It's a very cool game.
I wonder if it'd be on the Switch, get all those motion things with the motion sensors in the Switch remotes.
Oh no, you're trying to steer the ball with gyro controls.
Ooh, we're getting raw. Gone is raw.
I just hope the game opens up with someone explaining what Tabe Goro means, like with Yakuza.
What does Tabe Goro mean?
Extreme.
You know what? It probably means extreme, Bob.
Sure.
I think it. I'm trying to remember what it means because I know I've heard it before. I think it means like ready to eat.
Yummy.
Good for eating, ripe enough for eating, in season. So it could be any of those.
Okay.
So they're trying to say the time is now for Super Monkey Ball.
Yes. I like it. Where's the Tabe Goro
right.
for Ape Escape?
On the
Don't get me
PS5.
excited.
On the PS5.
You're right.
Yep.
You're right.
You know why, Bob? Because Medieval was taking up space this year. They pushed back Ape Escape because Medieval got its remake.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't deserve as good a remake as Ape Escape, so, you know.
I mean, as I said in a previous podcast, the PS4 had Knack, the PS5 will have Ape Escape.
Ape Escape Cross Knack.
You also said that the last time I mentioned that.
Knack ain't going away. Mark Cerny is like, you keep giving me Knack games or I'm leaving.
Hey, Marble Madness rolled so Knack could run.
But Knack didn't run.
In Knack 3, Knack will start a YouTube channel where he tells you the problem with orcs.
Yeah. That seems so likely if you fucking played that game. Good
Yeah.
Lord. But yeah, no, as I said before, Ape Escape, PS5, it's happening. Absolutely.
I'm excited.
You should be.
Getting into Smash. Spike's gonna be in there. Recovers with the propeller thing.
Yeah.
I mean, why would we even want him in Smash? He's already in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
You're correct. Never mind. Shut it down.
Shut it down. Who cares?
I hope they make a second one of those.
God.
Why do you wish for death?
Right? It's like, there's no way they'll get it right on their second time out.
I mean, they
I'm an
don't
optimist,
exist.
and even I'm like, yeah, shut that shit down.
Yeah. No, if they kept a team together that might have learned some mistakes, then sure. But they didn't.
No, they're all
Is
gone.
any fighting game roster more pathetic than the one for All-Stars Battle Royale?
Absolutely.
'Cause it's like-
uh,
But I feel like there's just the
The
energy
one from
portrays
Balls
where it's
3D.
like, Big Daddy, Dante,
Don't forget that princess.
Ryan, from Metal Gear Rising.
yeah, no,
I saw Casey said Ryan.
I mean,
Metal
he
Gear
did
Rising. Okay.
blatantly.
It's late. I'm slurring.
Casey's been drinking.
Isaac Clarke,
Yeah, no, I'm not sure
Emmett
you remember.
Graves from Starhawk.
I'm not
Okay,
sure.
can we move on?
I'm not sure you remember Super NES or Genesis fighters that aren't Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. But
I mean,
yeah,
I'm not
there
talking
was.
about in terms of having a worse. I'm turning like in terms of here's our crossovers.
Well, yeah,
Look at our iconic characters like Colonel Radek from Killzone.
Hey, Radek's pretty raw. Don't you fucking murder him at the end of 2, Bob?
I don't know.
Why
I can't
see
even
this
remember
game
if
if
that
I
was Rydick.
stabbed him in the fucking eyeball? Whatever. Anyway, we should talk about the really important news this week. Phil, tell
All
me
right.
about Cuphead.
Yeah, that is the really important news.
It is really important.
Yeah.
Cuphead is getting a Netflix animated series. It's directed by the guy who created Time Squad. Time Squad is good.
It's pretty good.
I feel like it's really funny how they just basically copied the kid from Rocky and Bullwinkle and nobody ever cared.
Yeah, no, why would they?
And he's also been the project head on those modern Mickey Mouse shorts. Like if you've seen the clip of Goofy going through his key ring and then somebody added Reconnect Kingdom Hearts to the end of it.
Those Mickey Mouse shorts are actually really
They're
good.
incredible. If you haven't seen them, fucking find them. They are hilarious. I reference them low-key, nonstop. They are so fucking funny.
I love that recent one that people have been memeing from the new Mickey Mouse cartoons, where Mickey runs across the country and just goes,
What happened?
just everyone's dead.
All right.
That's all we know at the time. It'll probably be good. I hope. I'm kind of curious what like age group they're gonna shoot for, because I feel like they need to shoot for above babies but below Adult Swim.
Yeah, I mean, Cuphead's really popular with kids.
Yeah, I think it's going to do that thing things used to do, where it was like, it's not distinctly, quote, for adults in a shitty and gross way, like, say, John Crifalusi, but, like, it's not kiddie, you know? It's that...
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good cartoon, that thing
Yeah.
from times past.
Yes.
You know,
I mean,
a
if it's like-
cartoon where it's something that's approachable for all ages.
Like Mickey Mouse shorts, those are good for everybody, I feel.
Those are good for everybody, yeah.
If they have that
Here's
same
the
sort of
clip
thing.
I mentioned, by the way, of
Yeah.
what happened. I really like the cover of the Cuphead thing, because at the very bottom corner. Also starring Mugman. Which I'm like, yeah, Mugman.
But yeah, those Mickey Mouse shorts are great. Time Squad is pretty fucking good. I absolutely am looking forward to this. I think it's gonna evoke some, you know, because of course the animation style is pulling from it. Some of the older stuff, animation wise, that has like real actual horror in it, and it's not like
Yeah.
it's like pulling on some dark strings. I really hope for that, because obviously that's what that game is. Like, it's fucked up, and I'm
They
interested.
said that everything is going to be hand-drawn with this, but they're going for what they termed traditional digital style, where everything is drawn, but it's still using like digital stuff with it. But they're trying to keep the spirit of the
Yeah.
animation as much as possible without like going super
Making it
archaic.
cost a fortune.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like the Mickey Mouse shorts
I am
do a pretty
most
good job of that.
curious in what these two little motherfuckers are going to sound like.
Oh my god.
Because in my head,
didn't
they're
think it's
both
even voiced.
shitty Mickey
Yeah.
Mouse impersonations.
In my head, Mugman's voiced by Troy Baker for some reason.
You know, I'm not really worried about them two. In fact, I am mildly entertained that those two are going to be silent. But the Zeppelin bitch, she better sound like Pearl from fucking Steven Universe. Just
Yeah,
this
she better.
shrill lady. Yeah, she absolutely needs to sound like that.
I think it'd be weird if they were silent, though, because they talk all over in those cutscenes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. I don't know what decision they're going to make with voice casting. But you know what? We should probably save this for later, but Phil, I really want to get to it now. Tell me about Psychonauts.
This knockout feels news.
So, Psychonauts got pushed into 2020. Like, it was supposed to be 2020. Then all of a sudden they were like, no, it's 2019 and it'll be at E3. Then it got pushed back into 2020.
Yeah.
I just feel like Tim Schafer has looked backwards into the Forza mines, and now all the hands are coming out to pull him in.
That scene from the Death Stranding trailer where the dude who looks like James Rolfe is being pulled by all the monsters.
Oh, you mean Shit Pickleman.
Like, no, I didn't want to. I didn't want to make. God damn it, Dan. I didn't want to make Forza cars. I told that joke because that wasn't going to happen, and then the doors just seal after he's pulled through.
Again, as I added, Sea of Thieves mine would be raw.
Whatever, he'll bail before he actually works on Forza cars.
Is everyone looking forward to Tim Schafer getting kicked out of Double Fine?
Right? Oh god,
That
that'll
I
happen.
will be stunned if it doesn't happen before next year.
Okay, I was like,
God damn it.
I was like, why is Phil gonna be stunned? That seems like a totally Microsoft move. I mean, fucking look at Halo.
Is he going to be a popular streamer like David Jaffe?
Oh,
It's gonna get to the point where they're like, here, Double Fine, make this. And then they can't in the time frame and budget that Microsoft wants because Tim Schafer's incompetent. And then Tim Schafer will no longer be part of the company.
Yeah, man, I worry about every single studio Microsoft owns, except for the Forza people. They're probably fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure Obsidian will be fine. Everybody had been trying to devour them for the better part of a decade.
They're Teflon.
I think this is the most like no shit news ever. Like Psychonauts gets pushed. Yeah, no shit. So
I only mentioned it because he was like, no, it's 2019 now, and then he double backed.
That's double fine.
Yeah, it's over the course of like 4 months or something.
So
that trailer they showed looked okay.
Yeah, no,
I have
that game
no
looks
interest.
neat.
Like, I played a little bit of Psychonauts 1. It didn't really grab me that much, but
Psychonauts 1's success was very much it was in that time period where it still wasn't acceptable to make like a game that didn't really focus on mechanics. So it was like, here's our funny game with bad platforming, and people liked the writing so much that it got popular, but ooh boy, that platforming.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason Microsoft kind of sort of canceled it once with the original Psychonauts, and then it got transferred to other people. It's ironic that they ended up back being owned by Microsoft.
Double Fine sure tries hard when they've never made a game that was mechanically good.
It's an ethos that I don't jive with, but I don't get off from them getting devastated, which is all I can see on the horizon.
Hey, you got to give their games a chance, like Rad.
No, I'm good. I'm not going to play a fucking game named Rad.
But it's Rad.
No.
That's why he won't be playing it.
That is exactly
Allegedly.
why I won't be playing it.
Okay.
So I feel like when I read this in the bullet, and I heard about it on Twitter first, I fucking snapped back 3 years or some shit, maybe even more. Amazon Game Studios has anything to announce, and it's a Lord of the Rings MMO?
It's a Lord of the Rings, a free-to-play Lord of the Rings MMO. By the way, they fired most of Amazon Game Studios like 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Think of the path that we took to get to this point. Double Helix does Killer Instinct 2013, does Strider, gets eaten by Amazon. They attempt to make a Breakaway, the basketball league competitor.
Yes.
It dies.
The basketball
They fire
MOBA.
most of the staff and then announce this.
They make a Facebook game, an App Store, an Amazon App Store game, an Amazon App Store game, a mobile game, a Amazon App Store game, an episodic racing game, which isn't even made by Amazon Game Studios. It's made by Amazon Game Studios Seattle, which is some your soul was taken and now you no longer have a name shit.
Yeah, no, that's some fucking Spirited Away shit right there.
And then this. By the way, here's directly from their Wikipedia page. In June 2019, during E3 week, it was announced that layoffs hit the company. It is unknown how many people were impacted. However, multiple unannounced projects were canceled.
It sounds like a nightmare over there.
Yeah, the whole Amazon Game Studios thing is a fucking nightmare. It really is. Like,
They've released nothing newsworthy.
I cannot imagine the nightmarish anxiety and desperation working for Amazon Game Studios must be. Nobody cares about what you're doing or has anything for you to do, but you exist because Amazon thinks they need a part in this industry.
And you're working on stuff that people wouldn't necessarily think is important or appealing. It's just like, here's something that's a bit more cynically motivated. Like, just look at Lord of the Rings MMO and Breakaway.
And Breakaway was only playable through Twitch launcher or something. They hide it as much as possible.
and the Amazon App Store shit is also hidden on iOS and fucking Android because it's not on Android, it's on a fork of Android.
Weird.
I read a
fucking
quote
nightmarish.
about Breakaway and my soul tried to escape. This game combines elements of League of Legends, Power Stone, Rocket League, and is designed for easy streaming on Twitch.
Yeah, no, it's disgusting and they need to stop doing it. This is a waste of human life. Fuck
Vomiting
Amazon.
blood.
Yeah. So we're going to move on to something that is definitely wholly artistic, not driven by profit or anything else. Tell me about Pokemon.
All right, so Pokemon Sword and Shield had a brand new trailer.
Whoa.
You are
Ooh.
exactly right there. I've set up the bullet points. We can start with the new Pokemon they revealed.
Sure.
We've got Alcremie.
Yeah, it's all creamy.
Yeah, it is a fairy type whipped cream Pokemon.
Looks raw.
Designed by the same
Yeah.
person who made the ice cream Pokemon.
which is one of my
No.
favorites.
It looks a lot more waifu-esque than Vanillux.
No, it's literally made by the same person.
I'm sorry.
Really?
Are you trying to tell me
I mean-
people want to fuck this whipped cream?
Yes.
No. People on the internet
And
want
no-
to stick they dicks in something?
No one want to do that with the ice cream cone, I'm sure.
No one. No one wants a
I think it looks
Rocky
neat.
Road BJ.
Oh god.
We were just last podcast talking about hopefully they continue to bring out some banger Pokemon. I think Alchemy is pretty good.
Yeah.
All the ones they showed that are pretty good.
Next up, they had Yamper, the electric corgi.
That's a pretty good one.
It's solid. Yeah. People like Corgi.
Yep.
He looks psychotic.
Somebody should Photoshop the Queen's Corgi
I mean,
movie poster into being Yamper.
Yeah, that's I'm not okay with it, but I guess people could like it.
It's for someone.
No,
Just
I'm
like-
sorry. The movie was called, I think it was called Dog Save the Queen.
God.
But yeah, Bob, it's for someone just like Gothitelle.
I guess.
Aw, are you going to be mean to Gotharita and Gothitelle?
I
really?
didn't say a single fucking thing
I
about
will,
them.
they
Are
suck.
you?
I was upset because I got
Okay.
the one with them in it.
Bob's like, I've made so many poor
That's
choices
good. That's
leading to this.
a fair reason to be upset.
Bob's always the one to pull out the gun.
Look, they ended up being
roll the-
bad Pokemon in their type even. I couldn't deal with it.
Okay, you have a good point. Roly-Coly
He's a rock.
is a coal rock type Pokemon.
Very smart.
In lore, they used these things to heat up houses before electricity was created for the region.
Okay.
They look cute.
Where's the chimney
Reminds me
sweep
of
Pokemon?
the
I
Rock
need
and
to-
Rolla.
Yeah, they used the roly-coly, Bob, and they moved on to the Pikachu.
It all works out. Duraludon, the manlit steel dragon that's 5'11".
It looks like some sort of weird midget robotic Godzilla.
All Pokemon are manlets. Charizard's like
someone say
5'6".
I saw someone say this is the Mecha Godzilla to Tyranitar.
Yeah, okay. I feel like this guy is even smaller than a Charizard. This thing's probably like 3 feet tall.
It's my favorite dragon they've revealed in the past few gens.
It's hilarious. It's like some prototype for Palkia.
Yeah, it's like naked Palkia.
It has a similar blocks your path energy as Gigalith from Gen 5.
Also, he's just a lighter.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, he's just a lighter, an absolute unit. But those are the new Pokemon they revealed. They revealed a brand new mechanic, Gigantamaxing.
I can't believe that dumb leak was real.
Okay, so Dynamaxing is when your Pokemon gets big. Gigantamaxing is when your Pokemon gets big, but it also changes their appearance, so it's kind of like Mega Evolution. Also gives you like one special super move. But the Pokemon, not every Pokemon, even if it's a Pokemon that has a Gigantamax form, cannot do it. Only rare Pokemon can do it, which you can obtain through max raid battles.
Hey, Bob.
Hey,
So
what's up?
This is dumbest shit ever.
Maybe, yeah.
That leak said Meowth would become Long Cat and Pikachu would become Fat Pikachu. And I
Oh
want to
my
see
god,
both
this is
of those.
important. This is
Every other thing in that leak was right.
I'm very pumped. They showed the Gigantamax version of Alcremie, I believe, turned into a giant wedding cake.
Yeah, it's Alchemy standing on top of a giant wedding cake. It has like a throne.
Yeah.
That has some
That
final
looked
boss
neat.
energy.
So anytime we're like, hey, Dynamaxing is like Mega Evolution, but they aren't gonna like limit it to certain few Pokemon. And then they introduced a second mechanic that is just Mega Pokemon.
Yeah, no, they ruined it.
Because they showed like Corviknight's Gigantamax and it has like red like turbines or like spots on the wings and he like looks bigger, stronger. Yeah, it's something.
Yeah, I hate this.
It's perfectly reasonable to hate that.
Get your friends to go. We'll have to all get together and do raid battles so we can each get Gigantamax Pokemon.
Raw, yes, of course. They revealed new characters, Chairman Rose and Oleana. They're the people heading up the Pokemon League.
Definitely not evil, right?
That's the first thing I saw in every response is like, either they're all evil or only the secretary is evil. The other dude looks stupid.
Chairman Rose is so fucking evil looking. He has the villain eyes where they're like half asleep, so you think they're not dangerous.
He just looks like anime Iron Man.
Like his eyes reek of evil.
I want to believe he's not evil because everyone is saying he's evil.
Well, this is based on FIFA, so of course he's going to be evil.
There is a non-zero chance these guys won't be evil. I think they might not take that angle.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Jeeble is not. Or wait, is it Johanna? Yeah, Jeeble's not. He's the real bad guy. You got it.
I don't know. They've kind of like the past couple gens. They've kind of done this thing where the enemy team, isn't the actual villain.
Right.
So I feel like they'll do that again.
That'd be interesting. I do like the Pokemon League just being big events where you have to put on your uniform and everything for it.
You know, I'm thinking about it. I didn't play Sun and Moon all the way through, but I'm pretty sure the 1%ers were the villains in X and Y. Were they?
Kinda. That was a weird situation where like they were, but also none of them actually knew what the villain was doing.
The fucking plot for that game is just shotgun blasts on a fucking script wall. Like, it's such fucking...
See, there was the war 1,000 years ago. AZ's really tall. A Flabébé died. This thing will nuke the planet.
And then the villain's like, I'm going to own you by making all of us immortal.
He got like a scouter in the last fight and a robot arm to throw his Pokemon out, and then
it wasn't a scouter.
Died.
It was like
I think he
it was
died.
like a visor, and he had like robot bees attached to his belt.
Yeah, no, it's what a dumb fucking game. Let's talk about these gym leaders.
All right, so like Pokemon Black and White, they're doing version exclusive gym leaders. If you pick up Pokemon Sword, you get
Wait.
What would you say her name is? Bea? Bay?
I would say
I've been saying
Bea, maybe.
That girl that you see art on Twitter for the next 6 months. And you
no,
can't
just until the next female trainer is announced.
You can't discern if people like the art because she's strong or because her feet are exposed. She's a fighting type gym leader. She'll be exclusive to Sword. And then the ghost type gym leader, Alistair, is for Shield.
Wait, did you say that Black and White had exclusive gym leaders? I don't.
Yes, they did. The very last gym was
the dragon gym leader. It was Iris or
Iris,
Drayden.
the little girl, or the big mare dude who
Drayden.
like looks like a white-haired Mike Haggar that throws dragons at you.
I didn't.
He has
know
like
that
a big
one
beard
existed.
with no mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Yeah, Iris is dope.
Yeah, Iris was made more canon in my head by having the anime have her.
Well, she's also...
And in Black and White too, she's the champion.
Yeah, spoilers. Spoilers on that game that's fucking 9 years old or something at this point.
She's also like dressed like a queen in Black and White too.
Okay, so I'm never gonna get a chance to go on this rant. Her being the champ in Black and White 2 is so fucking good. Because her in Black and White, she's just wearing a normal little outfit, right? But they make her wear this fancy ass outfit as a champ. And she said, they said I needed to wear something respectable. I find it kind of stuffy. Okay, let's do this. And when you start out the battle, she throws back her dress and throws up her arms like fucking a dragon or something. It just goes, roar! Like she's trying to sumo you. It's the fucking dumbest and best animation ever. It's so good.
Also, her champion theme is the least imposing. It's just this...
It's fucking
fun Sonic the Hedgehog stage ass music.
It's some anime ass fucking hype. Oh, I don't know, like Sailor Fuku shit. It's real good. It's really good. It's a really good moment. Black and White 2 should be higher.
You know, it should.
It really should.
It's got that Pokemon World Championship stuff in there too.
Oh yeah, the Pokemon World Tournament. That shit's dope. Really amazing.
I should go play one of those ROM hacks of Black and White.
I haven't even looked into the ROM hack scene for that. Anyways, we should talk about the exclusive gym leaders.
Okay, so they've revealed the first version exclusive Pokemon that are a part of the Galar decks that are old Pokemon. For Sword, your choices are Danos and Jangmo-o. Danos is the thing that evolves into the 3-headed dark dragon, and Jangmo-o is the fighting type dragon from Sun and Moon.
I don't even remember that thing.
Wait a second.
Yep.
Wait a fucking second. Okay, stop. Pump the brakes.
Sure.
They have 2 exclusives to announce for each version, and they're fucking old Pokemon?
They're old Pokemon. I think Dan was right with his crushingly small dex prediction.
Oh my god.
Okay. You know,
They've never done this
I think
before.
they're gonna.
That's really sad.
Well, we'll see. I'm gonna stay optimistic. They're good. Like every trailer we're gonna get, every like 2 weeks till launch or some shit, they'll show more and more.
Oh my god, what?
And
I
we'll
will
see all
hope
of
that
them,
I'm wrong.
all
That the
20.
dex is not 155 Pokemon.
This is insane. Like, keep in mind, I predicted that, but I still, behind every cynical person is a very disappointed optimist.
We'll see.
Now
Shield.
I'm torn because Goomy and Goodra are so raw.
Yes, because Pokemon Shield gives you Larvitar and Goomy.
I don't know. I like Dino because it looks like a fucking, beetle. Its fucking hair is covering its face in a really hilarious way.
Unless they like reveal another set of version exclusive gym leaders, it looks like Sword's just gonna win because of horny people.
A lot of people are horny for Alistair too. People are weird about Shy Guy masks. It's strange.
I thought it was because of, Hex Girl, Hex Boy dojins.
That too.
I mean, I think his design's neat. I think he's great.
Yeah.
I think they're both great.
That was a good trailer. The
But,
Japanese version of that trailer is a lot better because it showed a little bit more footage and just, I feel like it introduced things a lot better than the North American.
I think the
version
voice
of that.
acting's a lot better in the Japanese trailer.
This game of voice acting? I bet. No, of course it doesn't.
I
Game
bet you
Freak
can
didn't
trick
fucking get
them.
voice actors.
That new trailer looked good. I'm still really excited for this Pokemon game.
Yeah.
I never want to see anyone on Twitter talk about this Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Every day,
think my
someone's like,
my
look at
limit
this
was
animation.
that
Look at
was
it.
my limit. Look at them reuse an animation for a character from Sun and Moon, and I'm like, I just finished Judgment, and I can point out animations from Yakuza 1.
Look, the thing is, they used that as an excuse to cut a major appeal of the franchise. If Judgment wasn't a spinoff, if Judgment was the next main Yakuza game, and they cut the scope by half, and they used new animations as the excuse, then yeah, at that point, you would look at them reusing that, and you would be like, ew.
I feel that they.
Because no,
It
I
wasn't a
feel for 'em.
Pokemon though; it was a character animation.
But like the thing
yeah,
is,
you can
before
rip
they
on
fucking
rip on Yamper doing tail whip, and they're just pivoting his model like on a record player back and forth.
yeah.
That's ridiculous on a game on the Switch.
I think people wouldn't give a shit if they didn't use that excuse, because by and large, I've never heard anybody be like, these animations are fucking ridiculous. I can't believe they're charging $40 for the game. But once they use it as the main excuse for cutting that feature, which I call it a feature, but it is a core appeal of the franchise, yeah, people are just going to be pissed about it.
Yeah, they'll look for everything. They brought this on themselves.
Yeah.
I feel for everyone who wanted the national decks in, but boy, am I exhausted of the discourse of people just shooting at this game every fucking day. I wish they announced this shit like a month out. Just so there would be
so do
6
I.
months of this.
If they had just announced some sort of actionable plan, because here's the thing I think maybe a lot of people are entertaining, that next year's game is the real Pokemon game.
No, shut the fuck up. Don't say that here.
I would love for it to not be real. I would love for it to
Shut
not
up,
be real.
Phil. Don't be happy. I hate it when you're happy.
I'm only happy from your responses. But honestly, I don't even think it'll be next year. I think as long as Masuda is there, if this game is and if this game doesn't, undersell a asterisk by Pokemon standards,
Right.
because that asterisk is important.
But
I feel like
4 or
unless
5 million under what they were expecting.
What they were expecting, yes. Otherwise, if your definition of the real Pokemon game is having every Pokemon, never again. For 4 or 5 years until they can use that as a bullet point.
Well, see, that's the thing. They can use it as a bullet point for next year, and they can be like, check this out. And this is something I fucking get tired of as a marketing angle nowadays. We've heard you, and we're fixing what we did wrong. We're sorry. Here's that thing we didn't do right the first time. I get exhausted by marketing like that, basically.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 will have a story mode.
Oh, man. I haven't even seen a second of that story mode.
I played that story mode. Fun thing about it, they did preview coverage where we're going to show the press, and the preview is the first 3 or 4 missions. Those are decent missions. There's a lot of varied gameplay. You're going from location to location seamlessly, almost, where it's like you start up, you're imprisoned on a ship, you drop down to a planet, you go through that, and then you fly up to the wreckage of the ship from earlier. It's really cool. And then you realize they just stopped giving a shit and said, here's a demo for Luke Skywalker where you're fighting bugs.
Oh.
And it's just like,
EA loves that shit.
God. I want a good story Star Wars thing so bad. And I had
You're going to get it.
I had hope while playing that. Because I bought Battlefront 2.
Ugh.
I liked the first one to a degree, but it was like clearly like it was a game like Swiss cheese. It was just missing parts. There were big holes all over it. This one had less holes, but also they were selling parts of the cheese in pieces. They were stored in little boxes I had to buy. It was bad. But we have this concern about Pokemon, like, you know, would it feasibly fail? Coming up this year, it's like, you know, but thankfully they've been given a blank check because a new machine is being sold right now with an exclusive Pokemon SKU.
This is one of those things that makes me think it'll be more than 1 or 2. It'll be more than 1 year at least. Because
Pokemon's about to explode because you could pick it up alongside your Nintendo Switch Lite, which was revealed yesterday or the day before. Got revealed this week.
Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, it got revealed this week. I went and jotted down all the details here. It's coming on September 20th for $200. It is, in fact, the handheld-only console. So they molded the Joy-Cons onto the thing, so it's just one machine. Don't have to do any of that. To cut costs, obviously, the IR motion camera and HD rumble are removed from it. So that isn't a thing. Instead of directional buttons, it has a D-pad. It's coming in 3 colors: gray, yellow, and turquoise.
Before you go on, I want to talk about the D-pad thing. Nintendo immediately came out and shot everybody's dreams in the back of the head and said, no, we're not making a Joy-Con with that D-pad.
This is how Nintendo
They
is
literally
sometimes.
almost immediately were like, no, we're not doing that. Get fucked.
The best thing I have is the modded Joy-Cons I bought on eBay last year to make them atomic purple. The guy lets you switch in a D-pad for the directional buttons. It's not perfect, but makes me feel better. But it's too bad about that. Pokemon Sword and Shield version is coming, where one side is Zacian, the other side is the Zamazenta. Those are the 2 legendaries. Like, their colors are represented on both halves. And it's got, like, a drawing of them on the back. More strict details. It's smaller than the original Switch. It is 3.6 inches high and 8.2 inches long compared to the original's 4 inches high and 9.2 inches long. Not that much smaller, because, you know, they could only do so much, I guess. Better battery life, though. It with Breath of the Wild, for instance, it'll last 4 hours instead of 3.
I still think that's a little bit low. I think 5 would have been the spot to aim for.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, the Dimensions put it in the same ballpark as the Vita, which is interesting.
It's almost
One more
pocket
bullet.
size.
It's almost what?
Almost pocket size.
Didn't we call the Vita that?
Right? It's almost a portable. They almost did it.
Keep in mind, I put the Vita in a pouch and then I could stick it in my pocket just fine. And also, I had that carabiner carrying case. I think this is great. I know Toast generally plays Splatoon on her Switch and basically never plays it on a TV. I think she's going to get some mileage out of this new Switch Lite. But she is being smart. She is waiting for Animal Crossing to come out to see whether or not they have a color for that. Because
I think they will.
I think they will
seems
too.
like an obvious thing.
Right.
It's so much easier to make
Maybe it's
color.
like green and brown or something.
It'll be another Pop-Tart like 3DS.
Like, it's so much easier for them to make different colors for this since it's all one shell. It's all one cohesive piece of plastic.
I hate Nintendo fans because they immediately made mock-ups that looked like a Super Nintendo. I went, fuck you.
Don't worry,
buy
Dave.
Look at this thing they'll never make.
Hey, they did it for 3DS.
They did that
It
with
took
the
them, like,
3DS.
a decade.
Yeah, it took them a decade, but man, that was a pretty fucking cool 3DS. Speaking of which, what's also cool? Atomic Purple. We need to bring it back. Nintendo needs to wake the fuck up.
Again, I bought Atomic Purple Joy-Cons
See?
on eBay.
The appeal is undeniable. We have something like, what is this? I need to do some math real quick. I did a quick poll on Twitter, seeing how many people are smart enough to realize that Atomic Purple is the greatest color of all time.
I think this is the vendor I use too. Look at these things. They're glorious.
This is a great audio podcast.
This is the real good shit.
Yeah, I've seen that stuff around. It's pretty cool. Nintendo needs to make an Atomic Purple fucking Switch. 295 people out of a total of 335 polled agreed Atomic Purple is the fucking best. Persona-sama fucking agreed because he's a man of infinite fucking class. He understands. He worked on Skullgirls.
So there
Did we
was
go over
the
that it's $200?
Yeah, we covered that, but we didn't really explore that. Do you want to?
Yeah, I was going through the first few bullets really quickly, but yeah, 200.
Did you want to say
This is
something?
another
about
thing
that,
where
Bob, or-
I think 175 would have been a little bit better because I feel like
I think that would be a
goal
pretty
with this-
unorthodox like price point for.
I know, but I feel like
And try this one more time. Hey, did you have anything you wanted to say about that, Bob?
No, not really. Other than, hey, that's a good price point, I feel. Like, that's a good chunk down. It gets us down there to a much more approachable price for the parents.
Okay. 175 is much cheaper.
I'm trying to think of any like device that like launched
my logic,
at, like such a
my
weird
logic
number
was
like
just
that.
like
175? Because
for parents,
175 was
I feel
the
like it should be
fucking
more.
3DS 4-month out price cut back in
Right, but it wasn't
Yeah.
like I feel like when they launch a
It
new product,
wasn't.
they try a more normal number, like at 150 or 200 or something.
Right. Not them going, oh shit, how much can we cut this before it fails?
Yeah.
Maybe 180. Then I'm just imagining like the perspective of a parent.
Yeah.
All the
Two
little
of
weird
these
numbers.
is $100 more than a normal Switch, and if
I
it
have
was
a
only
suggestion.
$50,
What about
more.
$193?
I mean, the thing comes with Pokemon, so in that sense, you've
I don't-
saved a lot of money.
I don't think that comes with Pokemon. They've never done that. Did
Yeah,
they do
I
it
don't
this
think
time?
it comes with Pokemon. I think they're just going to do a bundle.
No,
that'll be $250, bro.
Well, if it's a bundle, things need to be bundled together. This just sounds like, if you guys are right, that it's just a Pokemon-themed Switch line.
Yeah, you could just. That's what they've been doing
that
for the
was my
last like
assumption.
5+ years of. Yeah, you
It'll
could buy the
probably
fancy
come
one.
with
Yes. Here we go. Here's
probably
the
come
word.
with Pokemon installed on it.
Here's
No.
the word, ladies and gentlemen, edition. It is the Pokemon edition of the Switch Lite. It of course does not come with it because that is too good of a deal.
Yeah, they never do that. I think
That'd be in,
the most
be
they've given you
insane.
ever
Yeah.
is when they did that anniversary edition of Pokemon of the 3DS or new 3DS. They gave you like Pokemon Red.
They gave you Pokemon
download.
Yes, they gave you Pokemon Red as a download. That was hilarious. They're like, here you go.
There was
And I'm
also
like,
that
what the
one that
fuck?
gave you. Wasn't there one that gave you Super Mario World as a download?
Yeah, once they get really old, they'll give you a free game, but not near launch. No, not these fancy looking ones. It's like, oh yeah, we'll bundle in New Super Mario Brothers 2 if you buy our 2DS. It's like, great.
And that was like years later.
Yeah, that was like 5 years later.
Nintendo doesn't give out freebies very much anymore.
They think very highly of all their like first-party software.
All of their everything, yes.
I'm sure it's just like a brand guide they have somewhere in the crypts of Nintendo.
The Nintendo catacombs.
Here's the weird thing. They said, like, it came out after this came out, that they're not doing the Pro model this year, which was something we heard in the rumblings earlier this year. So they're doing the Switch Lite, and then they're trying to launch the Switch Pro in the same year as the Xbox 2 and PS5?
Yeah, they're all going to be...
That has to be what they're going
That's
to
a
do, yeah.
fucking-
right next to each other.
That is a murder hole! Like, holy shit!
I assume the Switch
Unless
Pro
it's
is
also
literally
$200.
is just going to be the same price point as a regular Switch and just replace that.
Unless it's
still 300.
holiday 2021.
I mean, Bob, you're probably right, but as they've said, like all of the leaks that have said about the Switch Pro, it's got some features that make it really compelling to people who are the core demographic for games. So it's probably going to run it better. It's probably going to load your games faster. You know, it's probably going to have some really critical, like top level enjoyable features. And son of a bitch.
yeah, no.
Son of a bitch, you guys. What the
all
fuck?
three of them want to launch at the same time this time, okay?
All three of them in 1 year.
Uh-huh.
When has that ever fucking happened?
It's been it might not have ever happened.
I don't think it's ever fucking happened.
Yeah, it's always like 1 and then 2.
Wait.
The Genesis came out 3
never.
years before the fucking SNES.
It's never happened.
That's interesting.
This is
The most we've ever gotten is 2.
I'm getting stressed out just thinking about it.
You can have an anxiety attack over
That shit.
the console
That
wars.
shit better launch in July.
They could do the early half of the year launch.
They will announce it at E3 and release it the same day. We're doing the Saturn.
I mean, I could see it being like March.
Sony's gonna announce the PS5 in February. Nintendo's gonna launch the Switch Pro later that day. They're gonna be like, "Yeah, it's out now. Look at that. I guess you don't need a PS5."
Was it you that said it was going to be called the Switch Lite? Because someone said that we called it.
Someone said we called it
Phil
last
said
week.
that.
Other people said Phil called it specifically. I haven't gone back and listened. All I know is I
I'm
need
sad
to.
that my prediction of the new Nintendo Switch was incorrect.
Yeah,
man.
save that for the Pro.
Yeah, it's the Pro. Come on, man.
The way people are saying it's the Nintendo Switch family of machines makes me go, oh, it's probably going to be Nintendo Switch Lite, Nintendo Switch Pro.
Yeah, my argument was it would be light because the Wii U scarred Nintendo forever in terms of naming their products things that make sense.
Yeah. So one interesting thing was I was wondering how you would do if you had 2 of these machines, and a lot of people go digital. As it turns out, you can still use the same account, access your same games on 2 machines, but you'll need a primary console where everything works fine, and your secondary Switch always has to be connected to the internet.
That's how it works on
good.
everything, yeah.
Yeah, it's got that 3-hour grace period, which just means you would probably make the Lite console your primary, so that your secondary would be the docked Switch, since that'll always be connected to the internet.
I
So you would switch that over. The only problem is you wouldn't carry over cloud saves, so stuff like Splatoon and
really.
and Pokemon and Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that
so many
sounds-
games don't. So many games inexplicably disallow cloud saving. But did you know, KZ,
The ones that would lead to dishonorable play.
that exists anyway? But KZ, did you know that Nintendo is not behind their competitors at all in online services? Shigeru Miyamoto said so.
Yeah, I know that because Shigeru Miyamoto said that they are not behind. They said, we're not behind. We got like 10 million people paying for this online. We're winning.
Shigeru Miyamoto was like, "It's 1998. We're on the cutting edge."
I read it as, we spent $10 on this online and we're making billions.
Yeah, no, it's the only positive way you could take his statement is, yeah, we're getting away with robbery.
Dude,
Oh, no.
I
Oh, no.
have NES games that I can play with you. Dan, we can play Super Mario Brothers 3 at any time.
Great.
We can
together.
Those friend lobbies for Super Mario Race better come out soon, because just imagine any general online pool on the Switch once the light comes out.
Oh,
It's already not great. I don't know.
You cannot hardwire it. You literally can't.
So
That's true.
I wanted to talk about some of that aspect of this that a lot of people maybe don't understand. The reason the Switch Lite can't dock with your TV is because when your Switch Normal docks with your TV, it ramps up the clock rate of internal parts and turns the fan up incredibly. The Switch Lite blatantly isn't designed for that.
Yeah, I assumed it was something technical like that, because most people I saw was just like, they're doing that so they make the regular one not obsolete. I'm like, no, it's probably something where it doesn't explode.
I mean, they literally don't have to design the thermals for it now. They don't have to design a fucking fan. They don't have to do any number of things. Like, it makes sense. It sucks, though, but it makes sense.
Someone put up a prediction on Twitter of who wants to bet that you can take your USB-C cable and plug it into the portable into your dock, and it'll do it. And someone said, yeah, and when you do that, a screen will pop up saying that it does not support TV play. and I really hope that happens. It's just like, they know.
That'll happen. There's no way they're dumb enough to not include that.
I think it'll play dumb and it'll just charge your Switch and be like, okay, here you go. Here's your power.
But apparently they're upgrading. They're not upgrading, but they're changing the components of the normal Switch too.
Yeah, it sounds like they're going to
The way
swap
this
out
is described, apparently this is the normal thing.
I mean,
Yeah, it's normal. It's not.
yeah, it sounds like they're swapping out the internals for higher fab or smaller fabrication node stuff. So, in theory,
of course.
it could clock shit higher. It's newer, smaller CPU, APU shit.
This might not even be
Makes
the
sense.
first time it happened with the Switch, because I remember, like, shortly after it launched, somebody was like, here's a way you can short out one of the Joy-Cons and just get into, like, developer access instantly.
They haven't really they haven't changed the chipset. It's still 20 nanometer, which is why the Switch Lite had to happen. Because 20 nanometer is by no means efficient at all. And I don't just mean energy efficient. I mean, producing the fucking thing would be easier if they moved it down some nodes. So it makes sense that they're just going to very silently swap out the hardware inside of the normal Switch to make it easier to produce. I'm looking forward to the Switch Pro being made of metal. It's going to be like a high-end smartphone, be incredibly thermally, like, efficient.
It's become like a frying pan.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're going to come up with an edgy phone name like Blade. So it's going to be the Switchblade. And it's going to be 300
Raw.
degrees in your fucking hands. You're going to get scars.
4,000 degree blade.
Yeah, these are sick burn scars. I'm a gamer.
I've got gamer blood.
It is like going into this. I wasn't sure how they deal with doing one without a TV mode, just because the Switch's name is derived from that.
Yeah, we've had a billion conversations about that since they launched the
Right.
Switch.
So I thought there's no way they'll just make one that doesn't do it at all.
Poor people exist.
But yeah, they'll do it.
Kids exist.
Mm-hmm.
This is a demo that needs to be served, and Nintendo is just letting those people silently leave the gaming market if they don't serve them, because Microsoft and Sony aren't doing a great job of doing that.
That's why they tepidly but still did support the 3DS so long, because there's always going to be those people who have less money.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, at the end of the day, even if you aren't making as much money on them, keeping them around, maybe them getting them interested in higher end products down the road,
Right.
that's important as
You
a
keep
business.
them in the Nintendo ecosystem.
Thanks, Phil. Tell them about what Patreon they could go to get a Nintendo Switch Lite.
Like, the Nintendo has always done this. Like, both top loaders for the NES and SNES. Well, SNES was already a top loader, but the more sleek ones both came out after the subsequent platform, didn't they?
Yeah, the SNES, I believe it's colloquially termed SNES Junior. The SNES Junior came out way late in the life of the SNES And the NES top loader came out in the Super Nintendo's fucking lifetime. So yeah, they're usually late running hardware revisions. I still say that Nintendo or someone out there should make some really, really affordable, very simple portable. Because I still think there's a demo for $100 portable. And then it would put, like, does anyone even fucking remember the name of the Square Crank system? What the fuck was the name of that again? Playdate.
God, I couldn't remember.
I couldn't either. I've been trying to remember for 3 minutes.
The only reason I can remember, is because it's the name of that Mega 64-bit.
Yeah, I remember you bringing that up the first time, and I was like, I bet Phil fucking remembers just because of that video. But yeah, I feel like a lot of the appeal of that even is that it's like a cheaper portable with simpler games, and
I'm just imagining Rocco Bodie sending them a passive-aggressive email about, hey, maybe
we came up with that first.
Right?
Maybe you should have consulted us. Maybe one of us should change before our lawyers get notified. That would probably be the best. But that's all the news. So that means we have to say what we're working on. I already told you guys during my segment what I'm working on. Hey, KZ, what do you have coming out in the next week?
We're finishing up Tales of Vesperia. That'll be done, since this comes out on Mondays, this will be, that LP will be done on Friday. That is the 19th. I enjoyed that game, to a good degree. After hearing for years that it was the best one, I feel like that was probably a little bit of a meme. But
man, who told you that? No one on this podcast.
I've heard that everywhere. But yeah, thought it was fine. Still continuing with Final Fantasy 15. That'll start coming out daily once Vesperia's done. And hopefully I can get ahead enough on that so that when Fire Emblem's out, I can focus on that and not have to scale back on FF15. Aside from that, on Friday, July 19th, I'm celebrating the 10th anniversary of my channel. I've been making content on there for 10 years, and that makes me feel weird. I'll be going through Mario RPG in one big depth stream. That'll be fun. I'll bring in whoever's around as guests. It'll be
I'll bring in people off the streets. Hey, you want to be in a live stream?
Like, hey, you want to check out, this is my live stream of Super Mario RPG. It was Nintendo's first try at an RPG, and then the entire genre with Mario in it peaked, and then nothing really compared after that. So we'll be doing that, and I think that's about it.
All right. Man, I love Mario RPG. It's a really great game. I'd love to go back and revisit that. You said it's Friday, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to be busy dying to Mario Maker levels, so I'm afraid I can't join you. I don't know that for sure, but
it'll be like 3 a.m. I'll be in Bowser's Castle, and you'll come in.
I'll be like, please.
So Dan can feel like he's there. Everybody make Mario RPG themed levels in Mario Maker.
This one's full of corpses. I call it Gino's house.
This is the point where you reconsider what you've decided to do in your life.
Mm-hmm.
This is my level, Gino's house. Over in that, there's a brick wall you can't get past, and on that side of the wall, I wrote a smash.
Oh, God. Thanks for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension. This show, like our other podcasts, is only possible with the generous time our co-hosts have given to us and the equipment we've bought to make it higher quality and easier to produce. Please consider supporting our podcast series on our Gigaboots Podcast Patreon, and look forward to more Gamer Premonitions and Big Think Dimension in the future. This Gigaboots video was brought to you by our magnanimous executive producers: Vincent Poverg, Nicholas Cameron, E. Lee Broyles, Brendan O'Sullivan, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Danny Richardson, Shadow in the Darkness, Dryzart, and Red Blaze 27. And also these guys. Head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today so you can try to be as cool as these people.